Here's football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. Happy Friday, folks. And a football NFL Friday it is. Yeah, we got to talk about the Kings game. They got their chains snatched in their own house. A new way to lose. Chris Watkins, myself. We have Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass on this beautiful Friday. We said yesterday they lost in, I guess, the 3 ways you can lose a game. Well, we were wrong.
No.
They found a new way last night, which is just a hybrid of the sleepwalking, but then turning it on and ultimately blowing it in the end.
It's like a reverse Suns game almost.
Reverse Suns game, losing 120. They tried to do it.
They didn't get the results.
I thought they were going to, some get back, and we're going to be on the other side of this. But a De'Aaron airball 3 said otherwise, and 56% from the free throw.
Pal, trust me, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy. 126 to 121. And not only was Tyrese Halliburton not playing, a lot of people don't realize Nembhard wasn't playing, Naismith wasn't playing.
Sure wasn't.
These are guys that get legitimate minutes, okay? So it wasn't just Tyrese and his – what would you describe that outfit? And we got time for Tyrese.
We got time today.
We got time for Tyrese. We will be talking a lot of football today, Football Friday, because the Niners is all we got. We have Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, Sacramento guy. He's going to be in the building. For a whole hour starting at 1 o'clock. We're talking all things NFL, from the Niners to football to former players that are now coaches, or former teammates with Asante that are now coaches. So that is going to be the positive side of the show. And we're going to find some positives.
Yes, we're going to try.
In this Kings game. But let's just get to the Tyrese Halliburton, the antics, because I love a petty king.
Yeah, for sure.
But even me, maybe I'm starting to get these purple glasses on. I'm like, bro, can you sit down?
Sit down, brother.
Can you sit down?
Just for like 5 minutes. Just for 5 minutes. No, I mean, Tyrese didn't play yesterday, but he was on the floor more than anybody else. Like, he definitely spent the most time clocked on that floor of anybody who played last night. 100.
Shouldn't that be an attack?
It should be at some point. Like, my man is walking out to the free throw line pretty much and throwing up threes, and it's like, somebody do something about this.
This is crazy.
That definitely added a little bit of, fuel to the fire, maybe. I think that, when your team is getting just destroyed by a bunch of backups. Shout out TJ McConnell. Tried to tell y'all that man was going to be a problem yesterday. When TJ McConnell is going crazy like that, man, like, there's just no excuse. There's really no excuse for yesterday. The free throws are just, I don't even know what we can do about that. I know Mike Brown talked about how they've never practiced more from the free throw line than they did yesterday.
They got the yips, man.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be something like that, because these dudes are professionals. And, I always push back when people say, man, I could score 10 points in the NBA. Or 5 points in the NBA. Yeah. It's not that hard. And I always push back on that. The one thing I will never push back on your everyday Joe Schmo.
Okay.
Alan, Kyle, myself, we can quite literally go out to Golden One Center right now and we can shoot 60% from the free throw line.
I agree with that.
That is something that legitimately we could all do.
I was in a co-ed basketball league. I think I shot about 65%, which is trash, but it's better than they did yesterday.
My all-time record is 29 consecutive made free throws.
Get them out there.
Great.
By the way, quickly,
we can use it.
TCU women's basketball, they've dealt with a lot of injuries, and they're not even able to field a whole team right now because they're ineligible players and injuries. They are having open tryouts, TCU women's basketball in the Big 12. And I'm thinking the Kings could go ahead and say, Kyle Ledbetter, how many free throws can you make in a row? We might just need a guy, to just throw on the court and just get that ball in his hands when it's time for the other team to foul.
Hey, Vivek's always talked about being, ahead of the game. He got criticized early in his tenure for trying to run 4-on-5 basketball. there could be something here, man, when we're talking about like a basketball pinch hitter almost, where it's just like, hey, and here comes Kyle Ledbetter from section 115, row Q. Yeah. He's coming down.
Let's go.
Or they can have that dude who dresses up like Kevin Herter.
Yeah, that man probably shoots better free throws than half that team.
Come on.
Well, he looks the part.
He looks. That's the important thing.
By the way,
look, confidence is key.
To be fair,
confidence can get you a long way.
We are in those games, and I will put it to you right now. Golden One has not been making a great name for themselves. The fans, they come down for those games. Y'all got some bad jump shots out there. I don't know what's going on here.
Like during the
timeouts.
It's so
nobody's won anything, and what feels like, they're just riding the team. Yeah. Where are we finding these guys? Stop emulating the team, all right? We see enough bad free throw shooting. They haven't gotten free Jamba Juice in about 3 months.
It's been a while.
Yeah, one of my proudest athletic accomplishments is winning that shooting competition at a UC Davis game years ago.
Get them out there. It's bad.
It's terrible.
You know what? And the thing is, it's just embarrassing.
Yes.
You have Tyrese and his daddy and his girl just kicking it. Tyrese is wearing gauchos. What is happening?
I don't know what this man was wearing.
What is happening? This is crazy. Not one guy said, bruh, and I'm not even trying to make it a thing, Chris. They were making threes, and I'm not. I promise you, Tyrese was looking towards the bench.
Oh no, he turned towards the bench and gave them the 2 thumbs down.
Towards the bench. They were booing Buddy Hield. Nobody likes Buddy Hield in Sacramento. Okay, cool. Well, Tyrese was riding for his guy.
Yeah.
And look, we're gonna get into it. Gotta get to a break soon. But I'm gonna tell you this much. And I said this to you yesterday, and you said, Alan, I don't want to go there. Were they a little shook? Were they a little shook seeing Halliburton kicking it? We got Pascal who turned y'all down, and no wonder they turned y'all down. You can't make a free throw, okay? I'm here chilling. Not even my backup's playing. The backup to the backup's playing. Cooking your all-star. What did we say yesterday? He was sitting there chilling. And we're talking in the media room. They said, Alan, you weren't even there. It was even more than that. This dude was laughing. He was clowning. He was ready, Chris. He was ready. And the Kings were not. Now you have a blowout. You have a Dame time buzzer beater. You have a collapse. And now you have your guy that you moved didn't have to lift a finger.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
And he was clown. That was worse. He put on penny loafers. He put on loafers, Chris.
The shoes were terrible. The pants were abysmal.
He didn't even find his best fit. Y'all don't even deserve my best fit.
He legitimately looked like he just, hey, shout out Goodwill. I'm shopping at Goodwill. I was just there last weekend. That man legitimately looked like he went to the Goodwill rack and just pulled it off. He just pulled things off the rack and was like, this is what I'm rocking.
There is a word that has not necessarily been associated with the Kings, and we use a lot of different words, okay? When we get back from the break, we're going to discuss what that word is, and it's a word that you either got it or you don't. Don't worry, we do have some positives to take away. Like we said, plenty of football today. We got prop talk. Get your props in. We're going to help you out this weekend. Kyle Ledbetter is going to be a part of the prop talk. By the way, shout out to the Sack Chat. If you're really talking some Drake bars right here, MC Cal CM, this is the biggest Drake bar I've ever seen when I said Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. The Kyle, parentheses, wish the Kings were, close parentheses, Ledbetter. That is a Drake line. Yeah, I wish the Kings were Kyle to the Ledbetter. That's the best thing I've seen the last 2 days watching the Kings play basketball. So thank you, MC. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we talk about the word that the Kings are lacking, and it ain't about the X's and O's. Shout out to Chris Biederman. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, as you know, it's a brand new year. The big question, what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler Start Something New sales event?
We're keeping our traditions alive by continuing to offer the best savings on remaining new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. Right now, you can save up to $12,000 off MSRP, and even better yet, you don't have to make a payment for 90 days.
Well, that's a pretty big deal. $12,000 off MSRP on one of America's favorite trucks. trucks.
That's the difference between Hoblet and so many others. We are here to help you get the truck you need at the best possible price, and you won't find a better selection of new Rams with over 500 trucks available. At Hoblet, we want you to be a customer for life.
See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings after 6841 factory rebates and 5159 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 1,000 case equipment bonus cash. Must have purchased new case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payment for 90 days through Chrysler Capital on approved credit. 10th is net savings. See dealer for details.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, will join us for a whole hour starting at 1 p.m. to close the show. If you have any questions for Asante, who does great work as an NFL analyst, get them in. Questions about the Niners specifically, questions about the NFL, questions about being on the other side, right? That's what's really big these days. People wanting to hear the inside source. As much as we can sit and study and talk about it, I never put on NFL pads, right? I never did any of that. Asante Cleveland did. We will talk to him starting at 1 p.m.
Yeah, that's a great point you just brought up, too, because I think we talked yesterday about the Jeff Teague thing, about how politics, or it was Emmanuel Moutier, actually, about how sometimes, and that's the kind of thing that you don't know unless you talk to somebody who's in the league. Like, it's something you might be able to perceive, but to have the concrete, like, no, I'm telling you, I experienced this firsthand. And a lot of the times, it's not you can't get that level of insight from having LeBron James or Tracy McGrady or, one of the bigger high profile guys. A lot of the true business of, hey, this thing really is a job. You find that out being one of those, just guys, you're not a Patrick Mahomes. You're just a dude who's trying to make it and get a semblance of a career. So yeah, I can't wait to talk with Sanjay.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff. We got to do the Kings talk. Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross said, you guys talking Kings as if we had a choice. Yeah. But we are going to do it. And the word that I have been associating with the Kings, Chris, and I see people trying to guess the word here on the Sack Chat. Shout out to the Sack Chat. Been a great week for the Sack Chat. Continues to grow each and every day. Thank you to you, to the text line, of course, and the calls. A couple new callers. That's what happens when the Kings lose. I guess you get a couple new callers, and there were some great calls. So thank you to the calls as well. Nicktown is guessing the word is inconsistent. You have CK916 saying they weren't shook. They just stink, and I agree with you there, at least right now. So the word I'm going to use here is pride. And I don't think that the Kings play with any pride right now. And it's just the way that they move, the way that they look. You lose 4 in a row, but it's the way they look, man. Yeah. And when I talk about pride, it's a road trip. Cool, right? How do you not come out? De'Aaron, literally these memes on social media, they're saying Tyrese is better than you, Fox. They're saying you can't hit free throws, Fox. They're saying that you're overrated, Fox. They're saying that you're not doing anything in Sacramento, Fox. This is true. This is weird because I saw one on Patrick Mahomes and somebody's like, literally nobody is saying that, right? But this is
these are facts,
facts. Okay, Sabonis did have a triple-double, so I guess
he sure did,
right? So I guess fine. Sure did. Kevin Herter showed up.
He had a career high.
A career high that we are not talking about it because it was in a loss. Yep. But, when it comes to De'Aaron, and I think Malik has been a little off lately. Malik missed a bunch of free throws again.
Oh my God,
I'm sorry, Malik, and I love you. I know your
right on the other side.
On the other side of me right here. I don't want to see you on Twitter, I'll be better. Fam, how are you going to tweet, I'll be better, and then actually shoot worse from the free throw line the next game?
1 of 6 from the line, Malik was.
How is that crazy to me? How is that even possible? So to me, there's just a lack of pride, and that's not something that Coach Mike Brown can come with. Nope. That is not about the X's and O's. That has to be, guys, this even throughout the game, halftime, I do think they came out with a little bit more fire.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
You're already behind.
No question.
You're already behind. And guys, look at this. I would have been like, guys,
did you see, look at the last 3 minutes of that game. Yeah. You see the level of effort. Once they started doing that full court press, all of a sudden, things started getting crazy. And it's like, where was that? I'm not saying you had to full court press the whole game. That's more X's and O's, but where was that level of intensity? Where was that sense of urgency the entire game? Disgusting. No, it's just, guys,
it's gross. Look at this man.
Yeah.
Look at this man. He is literally clowning us. Yeah. Okay. And we're not doing anything about it. Beamer Beams or Bleemley is saying, oh, Stiles, you have it backwards and upside down. It's actually too much pride. It depends on how you see. I don't think they're rolling. It's too late now. Yeah. Okay. You don't lose 4 games in a row because you think you're good. And honestly, I've always thought that was a cop-out. Even when Coach Mike Brown said it a little bit ago, and he was talking about the blowouts and he compared it to the Warriors with KD. Yeah. Brother, the Warriors were actually bored. They were legitimately bored.
Yes.
These guys, I don't think they're not showing. I don't know what it is, but I don't think they're not showing up because they think they're too good or they think they can just
walk out there.
half do it. That's not it.
Yeah.
It's. I think not to me. Not to me. They just don't have it. Okay, whether it's whatever it is. When people say, "Oh, Brock Purdy has it," or whoever has it, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't, because you can't look at somebody that De'Aaron, they're saying that they traded the wrong point guard to your face.
You got TJ McConnell on you, bro.
And then you have TJ McConnell cooking you.
Cooking.
Well,
and it's cooking you, and you're not doing anything about it either. De'Aaron didn't really get going until, again, the last 5 minutes of that fourth quarter.
He needs to stop this. I'm going to let I know right now their system is Sabonis is going to get going, and then De'Aaron kind of clearly it's not working. Mm-hmm. Okay. I will say this to go back on Beamley. I will say this, that possibly they think, let's just hang around and then De'Aaron can take us to the promised land. Yeah. Maybe that's a part of pride, and maybe that's the clutch award situation. But ultimately, I just don't think that you come out lackadaisical.
Yes.
Again. Okay. Gotta be real careful to pronounce that correctly. Because my mom texted me last time. She's like, there's no S. There's no S, all right? You text me immediately. You cannot let that happen. That, to me, is pride. It's not being prideful. We're too good to come out and play. Yeah. It's the pride of, man, we're getting embarrassed at home with a dude that we moved on from. And homie is not even playing.
Yeah.
And Buddy Hield is out here. What do you have? He had 6 assists at halftime?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how many he ended up with, too, but I know we were tracking. He had 8 assists in the fourth quarter. His career high was 9, so he was trying to show out. He was trying to show out.
This man was Chris Paul.
Yeah, he was trying to do everything that people here in Sacramento said he couldn't do.
That's right.
He was trying to prove
and you know what? He did.
Also, Jarris Walker finished with 15 points. His previous career high was 8.
Trash. I mean, that was garbage. He had like 2 or 3 ridiculous last second of the shot clock fadeaway threes that I was like, I mean, that's where it's like, if Jarris Walker is hitting these shots tonight, they don't stand a chance. But to build on your point earlier about them not having the pride, to me, what I would build upon that, because I agree with pretty much everything you just said there, is like pride is also De'Aaron recognizing, again, I have TJ McConnell on me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go at this dude until this fool gets played off the floor, because I know
he's getting clamped.
I know that this dude can't beat me. He shouldn't be able to, like, yeah, TJ's pesky. He can stay in front of quicker guys because he is a smaller, quicker guy himself. But De'Aaron should be able to body him. He should be able to just finish over him realistically. And that, to me, is the pride that I don't see from this team either, is saying, again, I'll point at Harrison Barnes, who had its first quarter Tony Snell the other day or yesterday, finished with 2 points. HB looking across and seeing, Jarris Walker is guarding him. Bro, if you don't take that rookie to the paint, I saw him box out. They got some switches on TJ McConnell. I think that was the only points HB got. They put him in the post on TJ. But, like, dude, that from everybody, Sabonis really does the best job of just taking it to his matchup physically. But you saw Keegan do it a little bit at the start of the game. But to me, it's guys like De'Aaron and Malik, just more so De'Aaron. I think, like, best players are supposed to say, if I have an advantage here, I'm going to keep going at it until you can stop me. And if you can't stop me, well, that's how Giannis has those 48-point nights where he's 16 of 20 from the field and 12 of 12 from the free throw line. If I'm De'Aaron Fox, I'm attacking until you stop me, and then we'll get everything else going. But I don't see that level of pride from him, and I really don't see it a lot from everybody else besides Sabonis on most nights.
This is concerning in a different way, Because if you weren't at the game and somebody told you that they were playing the Pacers, missing Naismith, Halliburton, and Nembhard, and here's the box score.
And Pascal didn't play. So they didn't have Bruce Brown either, if you want to say that.
Exactly. And here's the box score for the Kings. Keegan, 9 rebounds, 27 points from the big boys, right? Keegan, 27 points. Domas, a triple-double with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. De'Aaron Fox, 24 points, 6 and 6. Kevin Huerter, 30 burger, 31 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds.
Kevin Huerter.
How did you lose that game?
I'll tell you what, it's not going to make you feel any better, but our guy Frankie Cardicelli let me in on some insight here that the Kings have just lost back-to-back games in which they had 4 players score over 20.
That's bad.
That's terrible. No, I mean, those are games that you have to win. If you got everybody going, it's not back-to-back games. It was in the Milwaukee game as well. So 2 of the last 3 games have come with 4 guys scoring over 20. Yeah, in that Milwaukee game, Sabonis had 21, Fox had 32, Huerter had 26, and Malik had 28. That's where it's, the same conversation that we had all last year is you can score. That's great. I think, again, offensively, to take some positives with Kevin Huerter knocking his shot down, this is the most that this team offensively has looked like the team of last year.
That's a problem.
The problem is the defensive end hasn't improved, and that was supposed to be the difference. It was supposed to be the same offensive last year, but you get some added defensive attention, and we're seeing right now that second part still is not coming. It seems like it's been a struggle all year long of trying to find the balance of how do we get good offense while still giving max effort on defense. To me, this is, again, another sign that, look, this team just is what they are. If you're going to ask them to be a crazy offense like they were last year, and it's no coincidence that they're playing the Pacers, a team who plays with incredibly high pace, they're playing the offense that they played last year, but they're not capable of having enough in the tank to compete on the defensive end.
It was entertaining. It was an entertaining game.
It sure was.
Look, the Kings, according to NBA.com, are still 17th in defensive rating. That must not be updated.
Nope. Can't be.
That cannot be updated. So I'm going to need the NBA to update that because it's not possible. It's just not possible. All right, get into a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation, is it a matter of effort or has this roster simply plateaued? Monty McNair, we got you on line 1. We don't, but we're going to talk about it. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL playoffs continue Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the Texans and Ravens at 1:30, followed by the Packers and 49ers at 5:15. The NFL playoffs are right here on Sactown Sports.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from TruckSmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since TruckSmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. Trucksmart.com. Your truck's going to love them.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Discover Roseville's hidden gem, Timbers at the Lodge, nestled in the Timber Creek Golf Course. Savor a culinary journey where every bite tells a story. We serve breakfast 7 days a week with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m., where you can relax on the outdoor patio next to our newly renovated and expanded putting green. Thursdays always feature our $28 prime rib dinner. Reservations encouraged. Learn more at timbersathelodge.com. We look forward to welcoming you to Timbers at the Lodge, where exceptional food meets great times.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the potty, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The cream is always soft. It's our party vibe. It's crushing everything, so your cheeks feel fine. So every booty wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
It's 10:30, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
The first time the Kings have lost 4 straight since the beginning of last season. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. We have Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, joining us at 1 p.m. Going to open up the phone lines here, because I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, 916-339-1140. Seeing something on the Sac chat, Chris. And basically, it's from Manny Too Legit, and it was about De'Aaron Fox. And I pointed it out to you when it happened. He was holding his right shoulder after a play where he actually didn't really hit his right shoulder. And I think it's a good thing to point out from Manny Too Legit on the Sac chat, because I feel, look, when they don't tell us anything, the only thing we can do is observe, right? We have a couple weeks ago now, Malik Monk, when he balled out, that was the double overtime game. Hey, Fox, your people are going to have some bumps and bruises, just alluding to something. And if I'm not mistaken, this is not the first time De'Aaron Fox has held that right shoulder. Obviously, he's playing. Some days he looks on, some days he looks not so on, right? So I don't want to guess or whatever, but we're not getting any information, so we're just assuming he's healthy. But something does seem amiss with De'Aaron Fox right now, and it's not the first time I've seen him grab his shoulder. I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And it wasn't a terrible game last night, but clearly he is on a different level than he was. We haven't complained about him being on the MVP ladder in a while because he has not been playing at an MVP level.
Sure hasn't. No, I mean, and it's definitely been noticeable. And to me, it's more just like the level of aggression that he's playing with doesn't seem to be consistent. I mean, at least, it felt, again, it started to feel a lot more like last year in the sense of people used to kind of complain a lot about how De'Aaron would quote unquote save it for the fourth quarter. And he would kind of, he'd coast and, he'd pick his spots here and there. But for the most part, you could really see an uptick in aggression and just production in like the last 8 minutes of the game. And it felt like for the start of the year when he was averaging 30, when he was shooting above 40% from three, he was aggressive the entire game. As a matter of fact, the fourth quarter Fox thing kind of disappeared. We haven't gotten many De'Aaron Fox clutch moments. So when he was playing really well earlier this year, it was coming early in the game. And now, again, it feels like he's reverted back to last year, and that would kind of track with maybe something is going wrong where he said, look, offensively, I can't give it to y'all for 48 minutes. I can give you, some burst here and there, but it pretty much is back to last year where he'll have 12 to 15 points heading into that fourth quarter. And that fourth quarter is really where you expect him to get 8 to 10 to maybe even 15 points just in that fourth. And I don't think that that's the right path for this team right now. I think they need him to be aggressive and to set the tone, because I think on a night like last night, Mike Brown used the term in his press conference when talking about TJ McConnell, said he gave them hope. Like he allowed TJ going off in the beginning of the game, made the Pacers as a unit believe, hey, like we're in this thing early. Like if we just keep at it, like there's no reason why we can't win this game. And I would argue that if De'Aaron has a more aggressive mindset to start the game and says, I got TJ on me, I'm going to make sure TJ knows this is going to be a long night, regardless of whether De'Aaron has intentions of putting it on him for 48 minutes. To me, you got to come out and set the tone early. And again, you got to go until they stop you. And if De'Aaron Fox is capable of putting up a 50-point game, I think that's fine. I think the team would welcome that, because that shows a bit of leadership as well, where that's truly follow me. Like I don't have to lead with my voice.
We're not losing this game.
Yeah, we're just not losing this game because De'Aaron Fox is on the floor today. And that should be the case a lot of nights, and we just haven't seen it a lot recently.
That's a bar right there. We're not losing this game because De'Aaron Fox is on the floor today. And we just have not seen that from him. You look at these 4 games and you try to figure out which one's been the most embarrassing. I mean, pick your poison here.
It's the Suns one. It's the Suns one.
The Bucks one is out, right? It's not the
in terms
Bucks.
of embarrassment. Yeah, the Bucks.
It's not the Bucks.
I don't know, man. Those free throws are terrible.
I don't know. Did you see them hitting the celebration on us at the end?
I saw. Even Thanasis, who couldn't even do it right, so Dame cropped him out of the picture.
Yeah, no, it's the Suns. That was what was the Tim Reynolds stat? It was the first time in like 1,264 games that the team was a 22-point fourth quarter lead lost.
As an organization, though, you could make the argument. The Sixers won, fine. That happens. You're in Philly, hostile environment.
It's not great. Joel doesn't play.
Joel doesn't play. I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. Right.
I'm just saying they're all embarrassing.
This is why
decision. There is no definitives in this question.
But I think
they're all bad.
But I think as far as soul snatching, to me, it's got to be last night.
You're not wrong. I mean, I asked you yesterday, even before we knew Nesmith and Nembhard were going to be out, I said, if Tyrese isn't playing tonight, it's got to be the worst. The thing is too, last night, to add to last night maybe being the pick, you have so many things working in your favor in terms of pregame inspiration. You're on a 3-game losing streak. You're back at home after a long road trip. You just ended a long road trip playing like garbage. You're playing, you come back home, and who's waiting for you but Tyrese Halliburton, who you have tons of feelings with, even if you don't, Domantas Sabonis going against his former team. And then you have the fact, on top of that those guys aren't playing, that all of those people didn't play. You need to win that game. It's set up for you, again, after you lose 3 straight. That's a perfect get-right game. You can't draw up a better get-right game than they had last night. And for you to just completely squander it, that's trash. That is so bad. You have to take advantage of that opportunity. You're reeling right now. It's literally yesterday was game 41, right in the middle of the season. and you want in the middle of the season, your feelings right now are you're on the worst losing streak you've been on since Mike Brown's first 4 games of his tenure here in Sacramento last year. That's how bad it is right now. It quite literally hasn't been this bad since the start of this thing just last year.
So Kyle has the Suns game, which, hey, every pick has a reason, right? That's not a bad
100%. It's just the Suns is first and then everything else is fighting for
Chris,
second.
I will be honest, the Suns loss is pretty typical Kings. I forget the for whatever.
Sure.
Like that's in the Kings DNA. I've seen that loss.
Well, what is your pick?
I'm picking yesterday just in terms of you just can't. Yesterday is the one that it's inexcusable.
Yeah, I agree because that's 3.
You had missed free throws.
You
on
had
top of it too. 3 rotational players for the Pacers and 1 star. Yeah.
Right. Sixers were only missing Joel Embiid, which is Joel Embiid, but
Yeah.
the rest of that team is pretty darn good. Bucks was just all right, and at least those 3 were on the road.
Yeah.
You come home after those embarrassments and then pull this off
and miss free throws
again.
Before
we get to a break, here's one thing when we getting back to De'Aaron and the shoulder, maybe there, and he is left-handed. Everybody knows I love my lefties. He is left-handed, and it does seem to be his right shoulder that he's grabbed a couple times here throughout the course of the last 10 games or so. Yeah, and then he was down on the ground. Was that an ankle?
Yeah, at the end of the game too.
Yeah, but that wasn't the foul because that would have been a free throw. So last season, and this is just in terms of
favor there.
Yeah. Come on. Well, I'm about to get to that now, actually, because last season, in a season of, hey, was this a flash in the pan? Kevin Huerter looked good. We'll get into some positives. Kevin Huerter career season. Keegan Murray came out of nowhere, even though he was the lottery pick, came out of nowhere. Here's another one. De'Aaron Fox, last season, 78% from free throw, highest of his career by 3%, okay? This season, he's shooting 71. So he's down 7%. Is it between the ears? The shoulder doesn't seem to be bothering him on 3-pointers, but just to throw it out there, okay, that's a lot.
It is.
That's a big difference.
It is.
All right, get into a break. We're going to turn a little positive here, talking about Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter, and obviously Domas doing his thing. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for The Call, Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
Specialize in saving the day, and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes. I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-O.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
It's easy to be negative, right? You can listen all across King's content right now. And we were. It's hard not to be. But here at Sactown Sports, we like to dig a little deeper. And we like to find the positives, especially on a Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Who wants to be sad on a Friday?
Feel good Friday.
It's not going to help anything.
Sure.
They don't play till Monday. Yeah. Okay. And they got a Hawks team that they almost tricked off that game. All right. Will DeJounte Murray still be on the team at that point?
Who knows?
Okay, so now we have our new Pascal Siakams. Now that Pascal and OG have been moved.
100%.
DeJounte Murray, Kyle Kuzma. Who else am I missing?
Well, Clint Capella's getting thrown into things left and right now, too. So you can put DeJounte. They're really the new
and
OG
Kyle are
and
the two.
Yeah.
And
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges is starting to get there. Clint Capella is starting to get there. But DeJounte. Levine is another one. But we saw a report the Lakers don't want to make a move.
I just think nobody wants that contract. Honestly,
that
is what it is.
pretty much is what it is. By the way, I saw this yesterday. So the 10 seed in the West right now is Utah at 22 and 22.
Insane.
10 seed in the East is the Hawks at 17 and 23.
Wow.
Yeah, the East is really bad at the bottom.
It's really bad at the bottom, but I feel like it's not as top heavy as it used to be.
Yes and no. The top three in the East are probably the three best teams in the league.
Sure.
But then like 4 through 8 might all be Western Conference.
Whoa. 4 best teams in the league?
Three best teams in the league.
You disrespecting the Nuggets and the T-Wolves like that?
I'm saying you could make the case.
Sure.
But then the drop-off after that is like, if you're listing the top 8, 5 of them might be in the West. But if you're listing the top 3,
that's fair
3
enough.
might be in the East.
That's fair enough. From the 9-1-6, Fox needs to shoot his free throws, all caps, from the three-point line. Maybe he'll have better success. From the 5'9" Nick.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But you got to try. Look, I said Rick Barry. I said go underhand.
What happened to positivity?
Look, I got to read them. I got to read them when they come through. But we are going to go positive here. here we go with some of the good things that we saw last night. Domas with another ho-hum triple-double. He's just balling, right? He showed up.
He sure did.
Okay. And honestly, I don't have it off the top of my head, but Domas, he does. You know how De'Aaron Fox said, I make them when they count?
Yeah.
Domas actually does make the free throws when they count.
Sure. Yeah. I'll look up his clutch free throw percentage.
And I hope it's better.
It's better.
It's got to be better.
Can't be worse.
It's got to be better. I guess being clutch is a relative term. Kevin Huerter, these things happen in spurts with Kevin Huerter. I was almost positive as we do some prop talk. Kevin Huerter is normally set at about 11.5. I thought for sure after he balled out and dropped, 27 a couple games ago, yeah. I thought that next game he was going to go off.
Right.
In Phoenix.
I think he had 10.
He had 10.
He had an early 10.
He had an early 10. And then what happened was, and I don't know if it was necessarily Huerter for Vezenkov, but Vezenkov was taking somebody's minutes.
Yeah.
And Vezenkov balled out, and he had his 14, I think, career high. Right. So Kevin Huerter
feels like an eternity ago.
Right. Kevin Huerter didn't really play as much as maybe he would have. And I'm thinking, okay, let's see what happens here. And then he comes home, gets him home cooking, and he balls out.
So good.
And I'm going to keep talking about it because
7 threes yesterday.
Yeah, I know ball, and I'm telling you and Brendan and Frankie, we're all sitting next to each other. That hitch is gone with Kevin Huerter. It looks smooth as butter again. Yeah. I can't believe it's not butter. The hitchy woo is gone. Okay, he's just getting that thing up. He's getting it up with confidence. And that's what you need. That's why this is so, and I'm trying to be positive here, but that's why this is just really getting me.
Yeah.
To have a 27 from Keegan, a 20 run from Domas, and 24 from Fox, and 31 from Huerter. It's like you're trying to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to try and keep it positive. I think it's a massive positive, like you said, that Kevin's playing better. And, even though the defense isn't there, at least the offense, we're seeing that it's not broken, right? I mean, shout out Kevin O'Connor, not actually, for saying the Suns have broken the Kings all those weeks ago. Right. And frankly, it did look like from the perimeter they were a bit broken. And I think it's at least been good to see that Kevin Huerter's jump shot is not over. It's not, his entire career hasn't been a farce. It's very clear that he just is having a major swing right now, as bad as he was for the first 35 games of the season or whatever. It feels like now his numbers are starting to kind of revert back to normal, or at least getting closer to doing so. And I think that's great for this team. I think in a weird way, I mean, we said they could have gone 4-1 on that road trip. The fact that they're playing well against quality opponents is a silver lining, I would say. The fact that they competed for 48 minutes plus with Milwaukee is a positive. The fact that they did get up so much against a fully stacked Suns team, and for a minute there, it looked like y'all just completely handled them. And the anti-Pelicans, the whole thing, like there was a moment where everything looked great. And even yesterday, you can take that comeback at the end of the game. I think they ended on a 15-2 run. You could take that as a positive of, again, showing like there's a world where the Kings put together a semblance of that effort that they had and put it for the entire game, or put it earlier in the game, and they get the result yesterday. So there's minor victories. There's silver linings. There's things that, again, if we get that Suns result, we get to talk about how Sasha is now in the rotation. He hit 2 threes yesterday. And, what does that mean for this team? And there's a couple positives, but it's honestly all ruined by the losses and how they happened, and especially the free throws. So even when I'm trying to be positive, honestly, it's not fair to talk about it, because in reality, they didn't get the job done.
I think you did a pretty good job.
You did a pretty darn good job. And my favorite thing is, obviously in this industry, we have to look at, how are our numbers? How are we doing? And I know somebody just turned on their radio and said, these homers
radio,
4 in a row. No, we have been giving the Kings that work
for 52 minutes.
For 52
You were talking about pride earlier.
Pride? Do they have too much? Do they not have enough? The Malik Monk thing is kind of confusing because to me, he has not been Malik. All right. And I don't know. And I got on him about the tweeting. We're going to figure this thing out. And I just don't like that period, right? Whenever I see guys tweet after a game, it just is not my bag.
Just do it.
Maybe it's get off my lawn. That's fine. But the problem is you tweet about it like that. And then you go out and what was he? One of six
yesterday.
1 of 6.
Yeah. Which is just,
well, he
I don't
was
think
shooting
that's ever
84%.
You know. And if you take the free throws and make it, 84%, which is 5 of 6, it looks like an average Malik Monk game. Like it's 13 points, 4 assists.
That's also true.
He hit 2 of 6 from 3. Like it looks like an average game. It's just the free throws on that.
You want to hear something crazy? So when we did this after the Bucks game, he was at 84.9.
Yikes.
Right now, he's at 81.4. Malik. 2 games later.
Can I read you some numbers too?
Mm-hmm.
Last 10 games. Maybe this will tell you why the Kings have looked so up and down the last 10 games. What's their record the last 10 games? 1, 2, 3. That is 6. They're 4-6 in the last 10 games. Malik Monk in the last 10 games, 16.9 points per game. Sounds good, right? 41% from the field, 34% from 3, 66% from the free throw line for Malik. In that same 10-game stretch, our guy De'Aaron Fox, 22 points per game, 37% from 3, 42% from the field, 70% from the free throw line. So you have pretty much your 2 best scorers, your 2 primary scorers playing the worst basketball they've played all year in terms of efficiency. And I think that's another big reason why this team just isn't, because you have Kevin Huerter finally shooting well. You've got, Keegan Murray and Sabonis showing up just about every night. And it's unfortunate that when these guys are all going, it feels like Malik and De'Aaron, I don't think it's because of those guys going off, but you don't have, at no point this year have all 5 of the Kings' main offensive weapons been clicking at the same time. And even
who's
that,
the 5th?
I would say Kevin Huerter. Just because when Kevin Herter's hitting threes, like if Kevin Huerter,
so not 5 starters,
not 5 starters.
Okay.
No. I think it's no. Please, I don't even think about that 5th guy.
Yeah,
please, come on.
We got something.
What did he do?
4 points, and then maybe I can consider that guy even remotely in the 5. But no, when I say 5, I mean Keegan, Sabonis, Monk, Fox, and Huerter. When those 5 guys are all clicking offensively, which again is what I would say was the majority of last year, all 5 for the most part, when the Kings were at their best, were contributing more nights than not. And we just haven't gotten that at all this year. I can't think of a single time in which it really felt like all of those guys were humming for like a consistent period.
But Chris,
of time.
you said not back to back, but 2 games here in the last 3 games where 4 guys had 20 plus.
Yeah. No, I know. But also, that's with like De'Aaron Fox honestly, both of those situations, De'Aaron again didn't really do anything until the last push of the game.
Right.
In that Milwaukee game, he was silent until he made that. He's the reason why they ended up going to overtime and playing so well. But before that, he was doing okay. But I don't think he had even eclipsed 20 last night. He had 12 or 14 heading into the 4th and then had a huge 4th quarter. So it just, again, it doesn't feel like in the flow of the game, everybody's contributing. And that's what makes the Kings offense so deadly is, okay, I'm trying to stop De'Aaron, but I can't leave Kevin Huerter out there. I'm trying to stop Malik Monk, but you got Keegan Murray back there. We're focused on the perimeter. Sabonis is killing us on the inside. It's never happening at the same time.
Before we get to a break, you know what it reminds me of? When and it goes onto the opposite side of my pride argument. So pride can be used in a couple ways here. It also reminds me of if you have a younger sibling or a little cousin that you play video games with and you want to make it fun, right? So you let them score a couple times. You're playing Madden, something like that. And then you try to turn it on, right? But there's too much time, you end up losing, and then you got to tell them, no, well, I let you score it anyway, right? It wasn't even like that, but it's too late because they got bragging rights because they did actually beat you. Did. Sometimes you're just waiting too late to turn it on, and maybe you are taking these teams for granted. I just thought that last night specifically, how can that be your situation with Tyrese in the building? That's what I don't get. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we were going positive, but we can't let HB go with no smoke. Come on now. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out our NFL playoff doubleheader on Sunday. Tampa Bay at Detroit at noon, followed by Houston at Baltimore at 3:30 on your home for Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the potty, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. It's cushion and things so our cheeks feel fine. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know? Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought him. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
It's 11:02, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
In the pre-game press conference, Coach Mike Brown was asked about Harrison Barnes starting. And long story short, he said, hey guys, you know I'm not afraid to move people around. He referenced Kevin Huerter and Duarte. By the way, is Duarte still on the team? Is he still on the team?
I think technically.
I saw him in joggers yesterday.
During the game?
That works.
I mean, he was in the.
Right. Well, he knew he wasn't coming in.
You know what I meant. He was wearing the King's.
The warm-up.
Yeah,
the warm-up. I don't know. Maybe he's rocking a Halliburton outfit. Who knows? So, Coach Mike Brown was asked about Harrison Barnes. Have you thought about bringing him off the bench? And long story short, he referenced, hey, guys, I'm not afraid to switch things up. And I've never kind of backed down from an idea that I had. Long story short, no. He said no. So to all of you on the text line in the SAC chat, bringing that up as we do after every game, Harrison Barnes does his best Tony Snell impression. And last night, 22 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 points. Yeah, it's not changing. And I wonder what he's more stuck on, Coach. I wonder if he's more stuck on not starting Malik or not removing Harrison Barnes from the starting lineup.
I would guess he would probably remove HB before he puts Malik in, if I had to guess. Like if everything in total was going terrible and it's just like we literally, like anybody can get yanked, I still think he would probably pull HB before he starts Malik.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
I'm just trying to think I think that's right. I feel like he would, because I mean, especially with just how things are going now, it's like the funny thing is, and what I'll just ask you it as I try and think of an answer for myself. Do you think moving to the bench in the inverse way of, I would say, Malik moving to the starting lineup doesn't necessarily help his game? Do you feel like, or is there any element of moving to the bench that you feel like would bring something out of Harrison's game?
No.
Because that's also the problem is like, okay, you're going to move him to the bench.
But I'm willing to try, though.
Okay.
I'm willing to try.
Yeah.
Because what's something times 0?
Exactly.
0.
Yeah.
So that's why I would do it. Because I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're not going to get I don't want to say you're not going to get worse, but it's
No, but you're not. I guess
the fear is like, again, in 7 minutes in the first quarter, he had a 7-minute cardio session before he eventually recorded a stat. It's but come on now. Is he going to do that just coming off the bench, or is there an argument
Chris,
that maybe he comes out more aggressive, like coming off the bench, because it's like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to get another rotation in the second half, and
so okay, without
maybe
that,
Keegan and Kevin aren't taking as many shots from him,
and he didn't even do anything. Well, wasn't that the first half or the first quarter where he had nothing?
It was the first quarter, and then he sat, I think, like the next 8 minutes of the second.
So he had to get nice and warmed up.
That's what I'm saying.
To drop 2 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist.
Yeah.
His fourth first quarter Tony Snell of the season.
Trey Lyles had no points.
Trey didn't really play well yesterday.
3 rebounds, 2. Well, I told you about Trey. Yeah. If he doesn't make that first 3, he's not.
I'm blaming Nate too, because Nate picked him for his dog yesterday.
Yeah, Nate. I can't pick Huerter. Nate can't pick Trey Lyles anymore.
Nate should just only pick JaVale McGee.
That's right. If Trey doesn't make that first 3, he's probably not going to help you.
Yeah.
But again, with that being said, if Trey's in the starting lineup, maybe it's different.
Yeah.
You got to come in hot because you're coming off the bench. Now, Trey played 19 minutes. Harrison Barnes played 22. And look,
wouldn't have guessed 22.
And this is what we said about the whole podium gate. Some people weren't happy about Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray in front. Yeah, I had no problem with it. I had no problem with it. But I will say this. At this point in time, and the reason I say it is because I think that Sacramento media has not been too tough on, and why would they be tough on Coach Mike Brown? He took you to the playoffs when you haven't been in 16 years, right? Well, and the team did.
I mean, frankly, I've said this to the chat too. The chat keeps saying fire Mike Brown. Oh, Mike Brown, this and that. I don't know how much of this is Mike Brown's fault. I'm not saying he's blameless.
But I don't know. Yeah. But I will say this. If you're on a 4-game losing streak and you have a player in Harrison Barnes that's looked the way he's looked.
Absolutely. I'm not saying you can't question.
You talk about pride. It seems like we're getting closer to pride because you can't say you keep the same energy from everyone when you don't. And what he continues to say is, and honestly, when he started that quote, when he was asked about starting Harrison Barnes, he said the only 2 locks
whatever.
The only 2 locks are Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He didn't even include Keegan.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't include Keegan, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm misquoting, I apologize. But I know it was obviously Fox and Sabonis.
Right.
And he said Harrison, it hasn't really crossed his mind. And to me, it's just, well, what does cross your mind, Mike? When and I know it's not all played and the hockey assists, but what is it actually that you think Harrison Barnes is giving this team that's currently on a 4-game losing streak? Yeah. And y'all are fully healthy. Right. And during that 4-game losing streak, you only played 2 other teams that were fully healthy.
I don't know, because I'm going to continue to say it. Like, there's other stats that exist besides points. Like, he can impact. If he chose, he could impact the game in other ways. And it's, you know what? Even the stats that don't show up, like just straight up defense. It's not like he's an elite defender. He's definitely not an elite defender. I've gotten to the point where I don't even know if he's an average defender. I seriously think watching Harrison Barnes on defense, the way he just gets clobbered by every screen that gets set on him, he gets eaten alive. I just don't think there's really anything that he does that's special. Like, he's got the frame of a player that is useful, but I really don't see much besides him using his body. Like, I don't see him using a lot of skill. I don't see something unique about his effort level or anything like that. I truly think, and I said it yesterday, I think people are going to be blown away hopefully when the Kings make a move and do insert somebody into that Harrison spot. I think people are going to be shocked at just how much they're like, wow, I noticed this guy doing so many things. And it's going to be not necessarily because that person does do all these things. I think it's because, frankly, Harrison does so little that I think anybody just going out there and trying to impact whether it be diving for loose balls, whether it be help side defense, anything like that, I think it would be better than what Harrison Barnes is giving you.
I don't want to go off the deep end here, but why not? Because when you lose,
we already did the positivity.
When you lose 4 in a row, that's where you're at. Is this team, if let's say they don't make a move, are they going to make the playoffs? Let's just put it out there. Not the play-in.
Yeah.
So that would be a 6 seed or better.
I'll tell you what, if the Kings are in the play-in tournament, I would not choose them to make it out.
No, they're not.
Because of the kind of what you were like, I wouldn't say, I would not say, oh yeah, this team has it in them to win 2 games, gotta have it. Even if it would be a 7 seed of, you have 2 opportunities, I would not trust them to beat a team.
So they're a 7 seed right now. Let's just do it because they're there right now. Yeah,
because it is really matchup dependent.
Well, they are. Okay, let's say the playoffs were tomorrow. The Kings are a 7 seed.
Yep.
Okay, help me with this. So they get 2 opportunities. Yes. So right now
you play 7-8 for the 7 seed.
So it would be Kings Suns in Sacramento.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That would be a really fun game.
It would be fun.
And right now,
in a gotta have it game, you got Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and Devin Booker.
So
against Sabonis and Fox.
You got to win that game.
Yep.
All right. In Sacramento, maybe they win it, right? Yep. That would be an electric game.
Sure.
The entertainment, that's not what I'm arguing here. I think it'll be entertaining. But we want to keep it going.
No,
right?
But even in the matchup, I mean, it's kind of a coin toss game, I would say.
Well, it's going to be 170 to 175. That's going to be the final score. Okay, let's say they lose. Okay, Suns move to the 8th seed.
Yep.
So
Suns move to the 7th seed.
Suns move to the 7th seed. Kings are still trying to figure it out.
Last possible chance to
it's
make
Jazz, Lakers right now in a 1-game playoff. So I'm not even going to waste my breath. It's the Lakers. Now the Lakers come to Golden 1.
No thanks.
That's what we're dealing with here, people.
I mean,
I'm not betting against LeBron James.
I'm not betting against the referees. That's
neither am I.
Sure.
Okay, that's a good point.
Dang sure.
You put yourself into a one-off with LeBron and the Lakers. We know how that story goes.
D'Angelo Russell might shoot him out of the game. Who knows?
No thanks.
They won't let him.
No thanks.
So this is what we're dealing with as of this morning. You got to beat the Suns in Sacramento, and if you do, you're golden.
Maybe we'll just become big Jazz fans. Maybe that's the plan.
Look, here's the thing, though. If you do beat the Suns, funny enough, you'd have the Thunder, who you've actually had the Thunder's number, but you got to beat the Suns first to do it.
Good luck. I mean, I do not trust this team to win in a gotta have it situation. So, I would not believe in them in either of those 2 games. I'm not saying they couldn't do it, but I mean, from the inconsistency that we've seen this year, and again, just the fact that even last year in games where it was as simple as, hey, win this game and you win the division, win this game and you clinch a playoff spot against whatever teams. It was Minnesota last year. They lost the game to San Antonio. They just have not won. The only gotta have it game that this Kings team has won is game 6 of the playoffs last year. And then you saw what they did in game 7. So I think that the inconsistency and you don't really know what you're going to get on any given night seems to be the through line of identity that I've seen from the year and a half that we've gotten out of these guys.
From the 916 on the text line, here's a positive. Malik's next contract is becoming more affordable. That is from Scott in Roseville. He's not wrong.
That's
he is wrong.
That's not right. And it's let's not get into talking about Malik's contract right now, because you know who's not re-signing here if the Kings are in the play-in tournament and get eliminated in the play-in tournament for less money than what he could maybe get from other teams. Malik can get, I think, $19 million a year from the Kings, but other teams, there's a couple teams out there. I think there's 6 teams with cap space. They could throw him more than 20 mil. And then Malik's got a decision, like we've talked about. I mean, if Malik's going to keep coming off the bench, he's got a decision to make. Do I want to, take this opportunity? I've resurrected my career from literally almost being out of the league to now 6th man on a potential playoff team. Do I want to make some money and try and be a starter? And worst case scenario, it doesn't work out for me. And, I kind of do the same reclamation project later, but I don't know. I think it's not a guarantee that Malik Monk is just going to re-sign here because he's buddy with De'Aaron Fox. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
They got to win.
Yeah. I'm also thinking on the other side of that, if Malik, and he's been hot and cold here, and I think he's just a rough stretch with the whole free throw thing. He might just be a high level, or he could be a high level 6th man somewhere else.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
he can go. Yeah. Totally.
Think about all the teams that would be ahead of the Kings in the standings if they were in the play-in, who might have money on in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference. So maybe it's not a matter of he's either going to be a starter on a bad team.
I'm looking at it now. The teams that have cap space, there's 6 teams. And this is from Reddit, and I
hold on. We're up against it. Let's do it on the other side. Let's do it on the other side.
There are 6 teams that can possibly sign Malik.
I can't wait to hear him. Steven, we see you. Will, we see you too. Stiles and Watkins, we'll get to you. Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
There are 6 teams that have cap space for Malik Monk. And it's interesting. He can go to another contender and continue to be a 6th man. He can maybe go to a lesser team, try to get a starting role. Chris Watkins has those 6 teams, and I'm almost afraid to hear them.
You want to hear them now?
I do.
Okay. Sorry, I'm me in the chat. I'm trying to understand what the chat is trying to say. They're really heading down Mike Brown's road, and I just want to make sure I understand what they're saying. But we'll get to that later. Malik Monk. There are 6 teams this offseason that are going to have the necessary money to possibly throw at Malik Monk. Malik is going to be probably the best young guard on the market. And there's, again, some level of fluctuation with these numbers depending on a couple random variances. But for the most part, the Kings can offer Malik Monk up to a 4-year, $78 million contract. There are 6 teams, like I said, that have the cap space to be a threat to sign him away. Those 6 teams are the Orlando Magic. Interesting. San Antonio Spurs, who could really use a ball handler.
He gets to start in San Antonio.
And he would get to start, and he would play with Wemby.
I mean, Sohan.
And you're in Texas. No Texas.
And you're in Texas.
Jazz, probably not. I would not pick Salt Lake City as a Malik Monk destination, but you never know. Detroit Pistons, probably not for Malik.
Wait. Hold on. Yeah. As of right now, from who you've said, the only one I'm honestly worried about would be the Spurs, because I think the Magic, they just have too many guards.
Depends on how they feel about Jalen Suggs.
Right. Because they got a lot of guards, though.
But if they moved on from Suggs, they would kind of have an opening in that rotation.
Sure. So we'll see.
Maybe. I mean, they still have Fultz, Anthony Black. They got, Suggs.
Yeah. Well, and they have a lot. They have a lot of guards. So I would maybe not yet. Right. Not yet.
When the Magic were in town, I do remember seeing a good amount of Magic people talking and saying, like, oh, we should throw Malik Monk tons of money. So
don't forget they have Markelle Fultz, too.
They do have Markelle Fultz.
For now.
For now.
And speaking of Markelle Fultz, the 6th team that has cap space to potentially sign away Malik Monk is the team that I think is the biggest threat, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Would he be a starter?
I don't know if that matters.
That's what I don't think so either. That's the contender situation. Yeah. Okay, so you have
Tyrese Maxey and Malik on the same
team. In that
team.
scenario, do they bring back Tobias Harris?
Probably
also?
not.
Another Kentucky guy.
I would imagine Tobias Harris's contract probably is what makes them have that much cap space.
That is exactly
and what your boy Marcus Morris too, 17 mil coming
Marcus
off the
Morris. So and then they could have drip wars between Kelly Oubre and Malik Monk, right?
Kelly Oubre's gone.
I'm already doing the marketing. Okay, so Magic. You said the Pistons,
Magic, Pistons, Spurs, Jazz, and Sixers.
I'm worried about the Spurs. Worried about the Sixers.
Spurs are a good dark horse for them.
Those are the 2, and I guess the Magic because they're up and coming.
And when I'm looking at I'm looking at Hoops Hype's top free agents here. Pascal Siakam number 1, LeBron 2, Tobias Harris 3, DeMar DeRozan 4, Nick Claxton 5, Malik Monk 6. Kentavious Caldwell Pope 7, Miles Bridges 8, Klay Thompson 9, Buddy Hield 10. So again, Malik is the youngest and really the only primary ball handler. The only other primary ball handler I see in here is Spencer Dinwiddie at 13. So Malik
Buddy looked like a primary ball handler last night.
He did last night, man. Did he?
He was out here looking like Jason Kidd. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think throughout that list. It almost makes me feel better because if the Sixers win the championship,
that's a big if,
right? Well, not as big as the Kings. So if they win, I don't know if that sways Malik to join them in that way. Okay, sure, I can be a 6th man on the reigning champs, right? But based on that list, I think I feel a little bit better. I'm be honest with you. Spurs worry me.
We'll see. Yeah, the Spurs worry me. I think the Magic could, and I think the Sixers make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of, the direction they want to go and how seasons end.
And he's from the South, right?
He's from Arkansas.
Right. So you go to Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
San Antonio.
SEC country.
SEC country for
San Antonio, Texas. Get some brisket like what Dave's cooking this weekend.
You get to play with Wemby. There's a lot of hype that'll come with that. Wemby. You'll get on a lot of highlight reels.
Imagine if the Spurs brought
his pick and roll.
It'd be crazy.
With Wemby.
It'd be unstoppable. It would be unstoppable. It would actually be insane.
Excuse me?
It would be insane.
Imagine if the Spurs brought in Malik Monk and TJ McConnell.
What are we doing? if I see another baseline drive, I was gonna lose my dinner. No, honestly, it was so bad. And,
I love the little fadeaway. The mid-range fadeaway is so
his
sick.
midi was
It's
on
so
fire.
sick. It's so
and then we
sick.
had a Pacers guy was sitting in front of us, and Brandon Nunez asked him, "Hey, is Nembhard usually the backup, or what's the deal?" And he said, "Yeah, they're trying to move Nembhard more to 1." And I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
And TJ would more so be that 2 guy,
Yeah.
or they mix it up. But he says, I'm telling you guys, he does the same 3 moves, and he just gets the cup every single time.
Everybody.
And he's not a big. I walked past him, not a big dude.
He's really small.
Yeah, not a big dude, but he knows how to use the angles, and he looked like the all-star point guard last night.
He sure did.
He scored
20
29 points in a game against the Bucks last year. That's crazy.
It's what he does.
TJ's a sneaky. I've had him on a couple fantasy basketball teams around this time of the year. This is like prime TJ McConnell
Guys
season,
get
where
hurt.
someone gets hurt. TJ gets in the starting lineup for like 3-4 games. I'm telling you, I said triple-double. Yes, it's not irregular for TJ to have like a 12, 12, and 10 game. And it's just like the dude does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, again, and I'm not to just throw a stray out here, but this is more constructive criticism. That's the kind of thing that Davion Mitchell needs to be in his NBA. No. Again,
It's over.
This is construct. This doesn't have to be here in Sacramento. It could be in his next location. It's just, you've got to figure out how to be scrappy, if you're going to be that small, you have to be a nuisance. Again, look at Jose Alvarado. He's barely holding on to an NBA career, but he does it by being a pest, by doing things like hiding in the corner and getting steals on inbounds.
Like you hate.
I hate it, but like, that's what you got to do. If that's how you got to eat, my man, go ahead and do it. Like there's that G League OKC dude who takes hook shots like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
It's like, I don't love it. I don't think it's going to work. But if that dude's averaging 20 points in the G League, hey, man, got to do what you got to do to eat in this world. I get it.
Well, and I think the best thing to highlight because you're not going to tell me that TJ McConnell is quicker than Davion Mitchell at all.
Yeah.
And I think Davion ball-on-ball defending-wise is better.
Should be.
And I think the highlighted thing from last night, that TJ McConnell was not shooting the lights out. He was not hitting threes. He was getting to the cup, and he was utilizing his body in ways that allowed him to score the basketball.
Yeah.
So I think that if he was shooting lights out, because Jose Alvarado is a pretty good three-point shooter.
Yeah, he can shoot. Yeah.
But TJ, and I think TJ is too, but TJ wasn't really hitting last night, but he was still this is crazy to me. We got a minute left, and Steven and Will, we will get to you on the other side, we promise.
We will.
But this is what was crazy to me when I saw this blurb from Coach Mike Brown last night. Yeah, we didn't do a good enough job trapping and blitzing TJ McConnell.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to.
That's insanity.
You shouldn't have to.
Who you got to trap everybody. You got to trap anybody with a pulse that's a starting point guard at this point.
And I'm not saying you got to stay in front of him because he is quick, but like body him. Make it hard for him to get around your body. Like you got to be physical. Doug Christie used to sit in this seat that I'm sitting in here, right here. Mm-hmm. And I remember Doug constantly, and I'm sure he tells them this all the time. They have to feel you when you're playing defense. You cannot allow people you can't just slide your feet. Like sliding your feet is the first part of defense. You can't be Chris Duarte out here.
Right.
You can't be picking and prodding at people.
Yeah.
But you got to be physical. You got to lean into him a bit. You got to make TJ McConnell he's a small dude. Like he can maybe get around you quickness wise, but he should not be able to fight around your body. And that's inexcusable.
Yeah, man. Ultimately, guys like Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, who else is there? Guys like that, Tyrese Maxey and TJ McConnell. Dude. You just got to blitz them.
Yeah.
You just got to blitz the
best guards in the league,
the elite point guards in this league. All right, get into a break. When we get back, we'll get to your calls on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITBfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating Save Mart location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
On the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Quickly, though, wanted to make sure I got to this as a Giants fan, and I want Kyle's take as we discussed pettiness and booing last week. And Chris, I don't know if you saw this, but the San Francisco Giants, when the Dodgers come to town, did you see this? Doing a promotion where they are giving out Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah. Fair or foul?
I think it's fair. It's fair.
It's funny.
It's a great double entendre, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hey, you guys are the LA team. Disneyland's in LA. That's what are you talking about? There's nothing nefarious going on here. And of course there's the Mickey Mouse title. So you know, it's perfect. It's
Kyle.
Marketing meets troll.
No notes. Good job. I like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I thought
good
it was
all
great.
around. Yeah, I
it was
think
great.
it's pretty good marketing.
Yeah.
Silly, stupid stuff. I like it.
Yes. No harm, no foul.
Exactly.
Now, I saw Dodgers fans didn't like it.
They sure did.
Oh no, Dodger fans are upset.
Yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, but Dodgers fans can.
Yeah.
You know.
So me and you, it's like the meme with from the Predator where they're clasping hands. It's San Diego and San Francisco fans have that mutual hatred of the Dodgers going for them. There's no beef between our fan bases because we both hate the Dodgers.
Exactly. Ultimately, Shohei will probably wear the Mickey Mouse ears during an at-bat and hit a home run anyway. So at least let us have this tiny victory. All right, let's get to Steven, who's been hanging on and wants to be a part of the Kings conversation. What's up, Steven?
Good morning, boys. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. What you got for us?
Perfect. All right. So are you guys Pulp Fiction watchers? Have you guys watched the movie Pulp Fiction? This is about pride.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know what Marcellus Wallace says to Bruce Willis before he goes into the fight to throw it?
Remind us.
The night of the fight, you may feel a slight sting. That's pride effing with you.
Mm-hmm.
F pride. Pride only hurts. It never helps. Right?
Right.
That's kind of how I feel. Like pride can only get you so far, you know. It really can get you only so far.
Mm-hmm.
Really. That's essentially my point to bringing that up, man.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. It's absolutely disheartening. I don't know how many times I've called you guys to vent, man. It's almost every day, man. Almost.
Yeah.
But it's disheartening, man. We haven't lost 4 games in a row. It's only 4 games. It's in the grand scheme of things, it's better than some of the other teams around here. You know, losing 7, 8, 9 games in a row. But let's call Detroit 29, 28, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we got to do something, man. Monty has to pick up the phone. I don't want to say it's to the point where we need to make a move just to make a move, but man, we need to make a move somewhere to bolster this roster, to add some length, to add some defense. I mean, dude, I wouldn't even mind if he went out there and got a DH. Just a guy that can sit in the corner who shoots 90% from the line.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Go get some fouls, get to the line. Let's drop a couple in the net, and hopefully we can get some, hopefully everyone else can follow, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Steven. I think you cut off at the Thanks, Steven. Yeah, I think you cut off at the very end there. Yeah, that's the question, right? Do the Kings have too much pride or not enough? I think it depends on the loss. Okay. I think the loss last night was not enough because it was a bit embarrassing, and you can't get played like that. I just can't get over. I mean, I don't know if everybody saw, I don't know how much they showed on the broadcast, but Buddy Hield was getting booed. And then when Buddy, I mean, he really didn't even hit that many shots. He was doing a lot of passing. But whenever Buddy made a shot, Tyrese Halliburton was walking almost to the half-court line, holding up 2 thumbs down, booing Buddy, joining in with the boos. I mean, how can you see that? How can you?
Yeah.
They can't keep getting away with this.
It was bad. No, I mean, I think, and that's the thing. I know these dudes are professionals and all that, but like just on a human level, how does that not get you going? Like that would, I mean, we were sitting up there and being like, if this fool doesn't sit down.
Yeah, sit down,
just for
man.
just for 5 minutes, just let a 3 go by without you getting up. And
I should have gave him my Apple Watch. I would have closed my rings. I'm like, dude,
bro,
what is your
crazy.
heart rate at?
And I can't imagine, if that's where it's like, come on, somebody's got to up the intensity at that point, because he was doing it all game. It's not like Tyrese just brought that energy when he felt like the win was in hand or nothing like that. He was like that all game. And if I'm De'Aaron, if I'm HB, if I'm anyone who's just seeing this happen and knowing, like, let's sit this fool down. It's like, how about instead of complaining about the tush push, stop the tush push?
I got one for you. And I was really mad because I was trying to catch, because I posted yesterday or last night about Tyrese, and I honestly couldn't find a good one. And it was one of those situations where every time I stopped recording, he was really on one every time I stopped. And then when I would do it, so I didn't get the best one. The best one that I saw, because I was only doing it on the offensive end, towards the end of the game. Chris, I don't know if you caught this, and I don't think they caught this on the broadcast. And I'm putting this on everything I love. Chris, at the end of the game, somebody was driving towards the end of the game for the Kings, right? and they got swatted. I forget who on the Pacers swatted them.
It could have been the Keegan Murray layup/dunk on the free throw where it got sent. Like
maybe it was that because I remember you were saying Keegan kind of gets swatted more than he should.
Yes, he does.
They had on the bench because in football they've been doing the strap thing when they make a sign.
I saw this.
They had an
three of them.
They had an organized celebration. And Tyrese led it.
He did lead it.
He led it, and they all threw their hands up, and then a strap, and it was in unison.
It
was in
crazy.
unison. It looked like my little sister doing dance. They had a bunch of dance teams at the game last night. They looked like that. They were choreographed.
It was crazy. It was really crazy.
It was the most insane thing I've seen.
Yeah.
It was insanity.
And that's the level of confidence that the Kings let the Pacers play with yesterday.
They had a choreographed routine. And it was actually pretty dope.
It was pretty fire.
I can't even lie.
I think I saw OKC had a similar one. They did a Euro step. Josh Giddey had a Euro step.
Where is the... I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
916-339-1140.
I wish we had good vibes like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Where's the bench mob?
Yesterday, Sabonis was asked in the locker room, like, how's the culture? How are y'all doing? You guys are on losing streak that you haven't been on pretty much since the beginning as a group. Sabonis said, no, we're great. We're, as like Mike Brown said, we're as connected as ever.
I was literally going to say, doesn't it seem like awesome. So long ago?
We're vibes are great. And it's like, I hear you saying that, and you're now the second person we've heard say that, but I do think bench mobs are a real thing. I do think teammates getting up for each other, and I'm not saying they don't get up. People hit threes or whatever, but where is, Gigi Jackson the other day has his TNT interview. Where's the fun, hey, someone's doing their post-game press conference. Let's pour water on him. Like, I'm talking about some random things, but it's like those things are real. Those show groups having fun, and it doesn't feel like this year the Kings are having fun playing basketball. Last year was all great. Light and beams, the picture after, all the Instagram posts, the beam team, all that stuff was great. It was fun. They were playing loose. They were playing with house money. This year has not felt like they have been having fun at all. Maybe they are all connected, but who's also all connected? Like, these groups of people who are doing military training and stuff. Right. Just because you're connected as a group does not mean that you're having a great time doing it. And so I think that's really what this Kings team is missing a lot right now is where is them playing loose and having fun?
Well, yeah. In terms of good vibes for the Sacramento Kings, at least we have the entire 2023 season to remember.
That's true. Look, it's not over yet, but I will say as somebody who in my playing days was never even keel, right? That was my problem with Jimmy G, and I skew more, and I don't even think Sabonis is
over here.
Well, I skew more Sabonis, who I don't even think is really even keel.
Yeah.
But it's the collection, and maybe it's because De'Aaron Fox is pretty even keel. Keegan Murray, some of those guys. You just don't know if they won or lost the game.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Yeah. I have no clue. What is your record? Right? They could be, and sometimes that's good. That's what they tell you in high school.
Right.
Guys can't get too high, can't get too low, but there is something to be said about, are you guys having fun?
Yeah.
Right? Remember that OBJ quote years ago? I'm not having fun anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it feels like. All right, get into a break. Will, we see you. John, we see you. We'll get to you right after on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Find the best selection of boats, side-by-sides, campers, and accessories, all at special prices. And get to your next adventure in style. See Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
That was another way. I would smoke once an hour. That didn't work either. All that would happen at some point of the day, I would end up doubling up. Other ways that I tried to quit was I stopped buying cigarettes totally. But if I took 3 puffs off of 15 friends, those didn't count because they weren't my cigarettes and they weren't full cigarettes. I went through a lot.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your 2024 grilling season right with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. It's incredible. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia, right here in Sacramento for over 25 years, or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Football Friday. It's still a Football Friday.
You wouldn't know it from this show.
Well, it's about to be because the Niners have a huge game coming up, but we had to get to the Kings. We had to get our
our plan.
Get our medicine, and give the people what they want. Okay? That is our job. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's get out to Will, our guy who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Will? What you got for us?
Oh, man. I know you guys. Look, I know I ain't going to get much time. So, look, hey, here you go. Look, don't. I'm not saying that Brown should get fired. I mean, I ain't saying that that's stupid.
Okay.
But the team don't seem to be focused, man, because they don't. It's like they don't know if they're gonna play this night. They don't know if they're gonna play the next. I mean, the rotations are not set. They don't know. Look, they should have put Davion on that little McConnell dude, and he probably would have shut him down, or even Ellis. I mean, he didn't try anything different. I mean, he could see that they were switching and McConnell would get on Herder. You know, Herder ain't the best defender. I mean, Herder tries hard, but when he hitting the shot, I'm happy when he hitting his shot. So when he's hitting the shot, I'm not complaining. But Brown is stubborn, man. He's stubborn, and he doesn't want to. I mean, I don't understand why Davion is getting zero time and Ellis is getting zero time right now. And even last night, he didn't play. I don't think JaVale got a minute of playing time. I mean, it's like, and the reason why people love Malik Malik gonna have a few turnovers, but Malik showed passion and emotion, man. A lot of them guys don't show anything.
Yeah.
They don't show any passion. They don't get angry. I mean, just like you said, the Milwaukee game and the Phoenix game, man, I would have been kicking chairs going to the locker room. I'm just saying, man, I don't understand. Like you were saying, Sabonis, they act like, okay, everything's all right. We get ready for the next game. Boom, man, come on.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Will. Look, it's a good point on Davion. And at this point, Chris, I don't know how you feel about it. By the way, Keon played 2 minutes, so sure.
He's searching, I'm telling you.
I don't know how you feel, Chris, but do you think that's where we're at now, where it's Davion is getting moved? So but is Davion worth why Davion, right? If it's a matter of, I don't think it's a matter of injuring or whatever, but if Davion, why is Davion relegated to the bench? Because he's probably going to get moved, but he can't keep Harrison Barnes off the bench, right? That's a little bit confusing.
I mean, I think it's more of just size at that point where it's like, the Kings need HB's size at the again, I think that if HB's 6'6", I don't think he's playing nearly as many minutes as he's playing. And the fact that, it's just, I think Mike Brown feels like Davion isn't the answer. And yes, while Davion might give you better perimeter on-ball defense on TJ McConnell, I don't know if that, if you're really, again, if you're game planning, if you're making subs specifically with TJ McConnell in mind, I think that you have bigger problems than that. And you should really, that's again, I would put that blame more so on De'Aaron than anybody else. I don't think that's Mike Brown's problem. I think he would expect De'Aaron to handle that matchup a whole lot better.
Because he's a two-way guy.
He's a two-way guy. And Keon Ellis did play yesterday. Again, he played 2 minutes, and Mike Brown thought he was his thinking. I assume, I don't think he was planning to play Keon, but I think he was like, the perimeter defense is terrible right now. We can't stop anybody. Let's throw Keon out there. And Keon was out there, and he was a -4 in his 2 minutes. So that wasn't the right answer. That clearly did not lead to the team playing any better. And so he just went again. He doesn't trust more than 7 or 8 guys on this roster to give consistent minutes. And so I think he's just saying, I'm going to go down with the guys that I trust. And I barely trust them, to be honest.
Down. Yeah, you're going down. 916-339-1140.
And he's tried everybody at this point.
No, he has.
The only thing he hasn't tried is taking Harrison Barnes out of the starting lineup. And I'm right there with everyone. Give him flack for that. Absolutely.
But he hasn't thought about it.
Yeah.
He has not thought about it. Yes, that was a quote. He hasn't. It has
or was
not
it crossed his mind?
Yeah,
hasn't crossed his
mind. Yeah. Let's get out to John, who apparently was in the building as well and had a front row seat to the Hallie show, to the Halliburton Antics show. What's up, John? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got?
Hey, guys. I was sitting over there by the Indiana bench, and I can't even begin to tell you how annoyed I was at Tyrese Halliburton and him being just overly giddy about all the plays that were going in their favor. Mm-hmm. And then, it's bad enough that he was it was just a gross overreaction, I think, to all of his success with celebration. And then add on top of that, we're not doing well and we weren't winning the game. That makes it just all the more frustrating. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just so frustrating to see that. And and the next he comes to Golden One Center, I'm going to be booing him just like to the degree that Buddy Hield was getting booed. There was just so many other fans around me that felt the same way too. Anyways, I just needed to get that off my chest because I was just so annoyed and so frustrated by that.
Thanks for the call, John.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, because we could see. I mean, you couldn't miss. That was his whole thing. He wanted to be seen last night. And look, we can pivot a little bit here, right? And I love being petty. I get all of it, but did last night make people feel differently? And now he didn't get to play, and I don't think it's East Coast, so they're not coming back this season. Did his antics make you feel not differently, but should he get some booze next time he comes?
Yes, but also don't get it twisted. Tyrese Halliburton is a major WWE fan, and he knows what he's doing. He's turning heel right now. Like, that's what he's trying to do. He's going to get excitement out of, this crowd hates me. Like he want. That's exactly. I'm not saying don't do it. I definitely think he deserves.
He might feed off.
I'm just saying, it's what he's looking for. He's trying to feed off of this. So next time he steps in that building and people do boo him, I'm telling you, the number one thing Tyrese Halliburton wants more than anything in this world is to hit a big three in Golden One Center, go to center court, and tell the crowd, let me hear it, and probably stare at Monty McNair, stare at the Kings bench, and have some nice words. It's what he wants. It's exactly what he wants. And if that's what he wants to become, that's totally fine. I think that I think it's fun. I mean, I think that's what basketball is about. I think it creates a legitimate rival for the Kings and not one that you would typically think of. And I think it's good. And hopefully the Kings saw it too, and hopefully, the Kings play the Pacers, I think February 2nd.
That's right.
Hopefully they've got something to say about that in the Pacers house.
I hope so.
They better, because they're going to be at full strength that day.
I don't think Sabonis will get booed in Indiana.
No.
Yeah, there's no real reason.
There's no reason for him to get booed.
Didn't he already play back in Indiana?
Yeah. So and that's a problem. They got too many fishes to fry. The Kings do. All these games that they've been tricking off, there's just too much, man. You got the Hawks team who they're going to have a little bit of dip on their chip because they blew that game. They were up by a lot. That's who they have Monday. Yep. Then you just play legitimately good teams. Right. And then you play teams that either owe you or you owe them. It's tough, man. It's tough. It is going to be a tough stretch. What is it? 7-game road trip after this game against the Hawks on Monday. You do get a little bit of a break before you start it, right? When you have a couple days off here, and then you have a couple days off before that next game. And
what you just highlighted there is exactly, though, when we were talking about the sportsmanship thing the other day, that's where I want this team to have a little bit of exactly what you outlined is perfect. Like, I want them to have that Kobe MJ thing for exactly what you just outlined. I want them to, because that's how you get through an 82-game regular season is by building up random storylines like that and trying to get yourself up for those games, saying, oh yeah, we have Atlanta. You know what? They're probably going to have something for us.
I don't think they think like that.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that's what this team needs too. I think that's another thing that helps you get through the middle of the season, the dog days of the season, is figuring out ways to motivate yourself and to say, oh, we need to prove a point tonight. Because I think if you're just going to look at every opponent as it's just another night in the NBA where you got to make sure you show up, I mean, you're going to do your job, but that's probably what you're going to treat it as a job and not as something personal or something that you're trying to make a statement as. And right now it does feel a little bit like the Kings are going through the motions. And again, it doesn't really feel like they're out there playing basketball. It feels like they're going out there and putting in a shift in not a good way, not in a, lunch pail kind of way. That just kind of feels like they're going out there because they have to.
There's been a term used with the Kings, and it was brought up yesterday on NBC Sports Bay Area in the pregame, I believe, with a Kings legend. And I don't want to talk about that term anymore. We'll discuss what it is when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs continues Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the AFC's top seed Baltimore Ravens as they look to back up the league's best record when they host the upstart Houston Texans.
Then the 49ers start their postseason as they host the Green Bay Packers. Texans and Ravens at 1:30, Packers and 49ers at 5:15.
The NFL playoffs right here on your home for Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports.
Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Well, it's a new year, so the big question is what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler? Start something new sales event.
Sadly, the end of an era is here. Dodge has stopped making the classic gas-powered Charger and Challenger, so this is your last chance to get your hands on some American muscle with that iconic V8 power. And now is the best time to buy because you can get up to $7,000 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXT and Challenger GT.
Yeah, that's one of those things you hope they wouldn't do. Truly is the end of an era.
Yeah. And that means when they're gone, they're gone.
See their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
7,000 total net savings after 6,500 dealer discount and 500 factor rebate. Includes 500 first responder cash. Must be a member of qualifying first responder program. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 700 plus FICO score required. $1,389 per thousand borrowed and no payments for 90 days. 5 at this net savings. Sample VIN 648-404.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports. Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
From the 916, can an entire team have the yips? I feel like that's the only explanation for their bad free throw shooting. They need to hire a sports psychologist, a la the Good Doctor from Ted Lasso. Oh, that is from Chris. I mean,
they definitely have a sports.
They have to. I know they do.
Yes, yes, you can. You can look it up yourself. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but you can look it up yourself. Just type in Sacramento Kings sports psychologist.
Well, they need to figure it out because it's not great.
Yeah, as someone who's got a history in baseball too, I mean, this feels like the yips. Yeah,
it's the yips.
Yeah.
If they're Now, Coach said that they took the most free throws that they ever have. I don't know what their percentage was at that practice.
That is a fact.
Right? But they took a lot. Clearly they're trying.
What Mike Brown didn't say is they've missed more at practice yesterday than they ever have.
56% during practice as well. You practice how you play. Yeah, we'll keep them coming. The ideas to figure out this free throw thing, because it's bad right now. It's bad. But, last night they had the worst, actually. Yeah, it is the worst. Last night they had a, kind of a special presentation and his jersey in the Raptors for Mitch Richmond. Yeah. By the way, on top of the pride, you got Mitch there.
Come on.
You got 50 Cent
That's
there.
That's not it.
You got Logan Webb
That's
there.
That's still not it.
Keep going.
You got Hammer there.
MC Hammer was there.
Come on. You got Slamson in the Hammer pants going off, and you still can't figure it out.
Come on.
That's crazy to me.
Vivek dirty.
TJ McConnell was showing out for MC Hammer.
TJ was doing. I saw TJ with the MC Hammer pants on. He borrowed them from Slamson, and he was dancing after. Yeah, he said, "Too legit to quit. Too legit. You can't handle my baseline layup." It was crazy.
It was crazy.
So Mitch Richmond is on the pregame, I believe, and with MEC Sports Bay Area, and they're talking about and we're not even going to play the clip because, the difference between going from being the hunter to the hunted. Are the Kings really even the hunted yet? Are they even the hunted anymore? They're the hunted when you have a shorthanded team and they haven't been able to let it go or figure it out. But I don't even want to hear about the Kings being the hunted anymore.
Right,
you're not on that level.
Mm-mm.
I think that was a little premature in those conversations. And if that's the reason they're losing, well, then that's embarrassing because they're barely you didn't even win the playoff series. You got to the playoffs.
Right. No, they really haven't earned that yet.
How many teams actually think that, the Kings are the hunter? We got to get these guys. This is
No.
We did this conversation earlier in the season coming off what they did last season, but right now,
no.
You are not the hunted in a 7 seed.
Only the Rockets think that. Only the Rockets are hunting the Kings.
I don't even know if the Rockets are. Do you still think they are the hunted?
No, definitely not. I think that teams probably go in and say, "Hey, this is a team that you got to, we obviously know what they're capable of because of their success last year, but this is this year's team and they're able to get got. If you bring the proper level of attention to detail and you hit them in the mouth first, which they will allow you to do, you can make it a game. Doesn't matter who's out there. Doesn't matter what your form has been recently, because let me tell you, the Milwaukee Bucks, they were struggling before they played the Kings. They played the Kings, played a great game against the Kings, and they have struggled since. It has not changed their form, so it doesn't matter if you give the night that you play the Kings just the proper respect of an NBA talent. I think that's really all it takes, because I don't think we're seeing, and I haven't seen them hit somebody in the mouth first. And I think until they do that, until they come out with the proper aggression and keep their foot down for 48 minutes, I just think that things like this are going to continue to happen.
Where is that team from New Year's Eve? Was it a full moon that night? Where is that team that came out and hit the Grizzlies in the mouth?
They said this is 2023 was a great year.
Yeah.
And then let's send it off right.
Right, we're going to send it off with a bang. Yep. But here's the thing about the hunted situation. I'm looking at the two conferences now. I'm going to start in the East.
Ain't nobody thinking about the Kings.
Right. I'm going to start in the East. The Celtics, the hunted.
Yes.
The Bucks, the hunted. The Sixers, the hunted. That's it. That's it for me.
No one's thinking about the Knicks like that. No one's thinking about the Cavs like that.
Just
Miami, you have
wait for playoff
Jimmy.
Wait for playoff Jimmy.
Well, that's
but
what
he
I'm saying.
still won't be. That's why Jimmy always sneaks up on people, because they still won't be the hunted.
Even after last year. Okay.
I don't think so though.
If not now, then it's never going to happen. You're right.
Yeah, I just think that when teams are I'm talking about right now. When
you have
teams
to give the Heat the proper amount of attention, but I wouldn't say that it's like, hey guys, we need to be 100% on our P's and Q's tonight.
But to be fair, with Heat culture, maybe that's a team that I put that team honestly pretty similar to where the category of the Kings are. No, these guys can get you.
I think you guys are probably right. It's just funny to think about the 8 seed that just knocked out all of the good teams last year is not hunted. That's crazy.
But all three of those teams have re-upped in a different way, though. Celtics re-upped, Bucks re-upped, and I guess Sixers got rid of Harden. But at the same time.
Hey,
Tyrese
the
has
Miami
been balling.
Heat added Jaime Jaquez.
That's true. I'm just saying,
got derailed.
big picture. Big picture.
Yeah.
Western Conference. Okay, Western Conference is different because they have more brand names and big names. So it's a little bit more confusing. Because the Timberwolves, I think, first of all, I think the Hunter hunted thing, I just don't think it rolls over. This ain't AT&T, your grandfathered minutes, right? If you were the hunted last season, unless you won the whole thing,
right?
You're not the Denver Nuggets,
yes.
The hunted.
Yes.
Timberwolves, right now, that's a tough one, right?
I think they've earned people's respect at this point.
But you're right. But you got to get up, but it's not the grandfathered in hunted. But I would put them there.
For sure.
They're getting up, right? Thunder, I think they're close.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different in the West. It just feels like you got
Kings have also beaten the Thunder twice, so we haven't really seen
And I'm really excited to see them face the Thunder again.
Yeah.
Because it's later in the season and they're at two different trajectories.
Are the Thunder kind of in the Kings camp from last year where it's like, oh, they might win a playoff series
That's right.
this year?
That's right.
But I think people respect the Thunder more than they respected the Kings last year.
That's probably true.
Yeah, but I think that's SGA is the reason why they're.
Okay, so I'm not putting all three in the hunted. Clippers, brand name. I would have to say
hunted.
Yeah, I would say hunted.
I mean, with all the
those
star
names.
power too, yeah.
But this is where it gets weird. Pelicans, no. Mavs, no. Kings, no. Suns have a brand name.
No.
But it's interesting though.
I think
I
with
put
the big
Suns,
three, people
Lakers,
feel like you have to give them some proper
Suns,
respect.
Lakers, and Warriors are all in the same spot. Where it's respectfully hunted.
Yeah, Warriors are definitely losing that respect
they're
as the days go on, but yeah.
Yes. So
absolutely.
you're the hunted, but it's because of who you guys are, not necessarily what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't put the Kings in that category. So I don't want to hear I know everybody wants to be that team.
Well, you talk about it all the time with Niner fans, right? Everybody wants to feel like, even when they're up top, everybody wants to feel like you're
exactly.
persecuted. So.
And look, to me, the Kings are not the hunted, and I don't want to hear that anymore.
I agree. No, I completely agree. I think that this team is not, especially this team this year, has not earned the respect. I think people look at the Sacramento Kings, especially with their form as of late, 6-8 in their last 13 games now. I think they say, hey, again, this game is open. This game is up for grabs here. I don't care if the Kings, even the Pacers yesterday, they could say, look, we have the same record as them, but we're only that good when we have our stars out there. They did not approach that game in that manner, and they took that game. And we've seen Detroit had a similar thing where Detroit came and hit the Kings in the mouth. The only reason the Kings came back in that game was because they were playing against the Detroit Pistons, and the Pistons shot the lights out in the first quarter. But, I mean, I think that this Kings team has shown they're just so inconsistent on any night. And, frankly, I don't know if it's mental or what, but if you shake them a little bit, they'll get rattled. They do not have the poise. They have not been through the fire yet to really know how to handle those situations. And I think that Phoenix game is a prime example of, when things really, really get tight, I don't know who this team goes to. I don't know. I mean, I think they go to De'Aaron Fox, but we saw if De'Aaron's taken out, if Malik is taken out, they look terrible. I've seen multiple people say this team looks like a scared dog with its tail tucked between its legs. And that's a little bit how they looked in that last 5 minutes against Phoenix the other night.
They really do need, and I know we've joked about Marcus Morris, but they really do need.
They need an enforcer.
They need
a hockey enforcer.
Or maybe like a Andre Iguodala type guy. It just, to your point, you have your coach, you have your best player, and maybe some teams don't need that middle guy. I do think some teams do. Yeah.
Warriors,
right? I know the Haslam didn't really play, but the Heat have always had that guy. But not every team needs that. I don't think the Nuggets. They had Uncle Jeff, but I don't think they didn't have Uncle Jeff last season though. Right?
Last season was the season that they had him.
He was there.
Okay, Uncle Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Jeff on that team. So guys like that, and obviously he played, but guys like that, and the Kings just don't have a dude like that.
No, Trey Lyles is looking like it.
But but I guess it's not. It's enforcer versus just like the wily vet.
Yeah,
that's just gonna say, y'all. You're going to get clowned for this. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the situation that I look at.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, to me, it's got to be internal. Like I think Mike Brown has said plenty of times. I mean, we've seen him scream and yell in practices before. He's said it 100 times. I feel like already. It's like I yell at these dudes all the time. I need somebody from inside the locker room to start calling people out and holding them accountable, because I mean, yeah, no one wants to listen to the boss. The boss is never 100%. Even when the boss is telling you facts, even when you know you've messed up and the boss is telling you how you messed up, everyone's always naturally going to be like, man, why is he hating on me? Like, why isn't he talking about player X? Well, that doesn't happen when it's coming from your peers. It just does. It might a little bit, but it's still, the message ends up sinking through so much more when it comes from a player than when it comes from a coach. It's always going to happen that way. And I don't think there's a guy right now on the roster who is that. I mean, ideally, again, not to just throw straight, but like HB is the most veteran guy on the team that plays consistently, and the dude's getting paid $17 million a year. So it's like, if your value is not showing on the floor, I'm not saying he's not doing nothing on the floor. Again, he's the wear the suit guy. I think he definitely keeps things professional. I think he is the model for what the Kings want in their players off the floor, but I don't think he's doing enough as a leader, and maybe he feels like that shouldn't be his role, and that's on him. But I think ideally the Kings would like it to be him.
Nelly 47 on the Sack chat. I know we look to Fox often to be that leader from the locker room, but to me, it seems like Domas would be that guy. No, I do think it's Domas, but
I think he's really nice.
I just don't think it's enough.
There's a difference between like leader and like coach in the practices. Like Udonis Haslem is the stereotypical example people think of, but even a Jeff Green, even an Iguodala,
you need somebody like that, and they're out there.
It was Nick Collison with the Thunder for a whole bunch of years. Yeah. Like, it's that person who kind of embodies the culture, which, based on reputation, everything you guys are describing sounds like JaVale McGee fits our bill.
Yeah,
I disagree.
No, it's not going to be JaVale.
I said reputation only.
Yeah, in theory,
I think that would be old Kings.
Yeah, in theory, yes.
I mean, NBA champion, 16 years in the league.
Harrison too, right? They need to get somebody.
Go sign a Lopez twin.
Got to get to a break. Yeah, well, don't get Chris started on that. Get into a break. When we get back, the football talk starts now. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucs and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Chris said go get Kent Bazemore. I'll take Kent Bazemore.
Just for the bench ball.
Is he a free agent?
Yes.
He has to be.
Most definitely.
Kent Bazemore is kind of a pull.
I'm a big fan of Kent Bazemore's bench celebrations for sure. He was a decent player when he played for sure. Like he was a contributing role player definitely, but his greatest contribution was definitely bench mob in Golden State.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on the Kings team that went to the bubble?
He was on 2 different Kings teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on one official Kings roster. I believe he made the training camp roster last year.
closing the loop on the Hunter hunted thing before we get into some NFL talk, just to take it to me personally, and I think a lot of people have heard of, De La Salle. It's not too far, but really, I mean, in Sacramento specifically, but really,
De La Salle's out here.
De La Salle is out here, right? Shout out Maurice Jones-Drew
from the movie.
Of course, it was actually, I actually never saw that movie.
It's kind of cringy.
And I saw a clip on TikTok, and it looks as bad as everybody said.
It's not good.
What movie is this?
When the Game Stands Tall. It's on the book about the winning streak.
They tried to do like a Remember the Titans style movie for De La Salle, and it was
corny.
It was not good at all.
Yeah, none of us watched it that went to De La Salle. But the reason I bring it up is because not just De La Salle, but a lot of times these private schools, not to get into the ins and outs of the recruiting or anything like that, but when you are a private school playing these public schools, you know that these guys are going to give you your best shot. And what you have to do is figure out how you're going to get up for these teams that you're better than, but if you sleep on them, they'll get you. So for De La Salle, it was, okay, Clayton Valley was really one of our biggest rivals, so we got to be ready for Clayton Valley. YV was literally right down the street, so a lot of them could have gone to Ignacio Valley.
Like,
so
just throwing out the
so like you had to get up separately because that they really didn't like you, right?
Sure.
In Pittsburgh, it was okay. A couple dudes may or may not have been talked to by the coach that actually don't live in Concord, decided instead of going to Pittsburgh High, they went to De La Salle. So they know all their dudes out there are trying to get you. Right. And it is something that is built in. And I know it's completely different because it's high school sports, but when you actually are the hunted, you do have to come up with these things.
Yes.
And I don't think the Kings are doing that. I don't think the Kings care that the Hawks have bad intentions on their mind. I just don't think they think like that.
They don't. No, I think they're focused on what they do, and I think there's definite positives in that. But I mean, again, to get through the grind of an 82-game season, especially when you're in the middle of it and you're on a 4-game losing streak, I think you have to your point. Like, I think you have to make things, whether it's real or not. I think, like you said, there's some things that have legitimate smoke behind it, whether it be, I know a couple guys over there. Or, we had a big game against them, whatever it is. That's what you have to do. And I don't think, that's what's so not concerning, but, because De'Aaron can do whatever he wants. But like when he had that statement about him just forgetting about games the second he leaves the arena, I think that there's a bit of, I understand, I'm sure a lot of sports psychologists out there would tell you that's healthy. Don't linger on games. Don't linger on things that happened in the past that you can't change. Right. Sure. But at the same time, I do think there is some major positives in using those kind of thoughts to fuel your fire, not necessarily using it to dwell on something, but to use it and to channel it to say, man, I don't want to feel this way again. Let me make sure I personally give everything I've got so I don't feel that way again. And I definitely think that you're right. Like, I would love to see this Kings team start to try and, I don't care if they literally have to get a bulletin board in the locker room, but start putting some things up there that get you motivated for a game or whatever it is, even if it's a stretch of games. I don't care. They need to figure it out because it does not feel like they're giving these games the proper attention.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. They get a couple days off. They get to enjoy the weekend. And if there are any Niners fans that are also on the Kings roster, they can enjoy watching it, or really just any fan of any football team that's left, because that's what we will be doing as we switch over to football. And everybody's favorite sports talking head, Skip Bayless. There was a lot said about Brock Purdy over these last couple of days. We have the Amy Trash sound as well. There are 7 terrific QBs, and then there is Brock Purdy. And Amy had a heck of a time yesterday trying to walk that back and trying to use some semantics between the difference between terrific and good. And you called Jared Goff terrific and Baker Mayfield terrific. There's just a lot of issues.
Yeah,
there.
Those are the two. Those are the two
that, come on, Amy, what are we talking about here? And Skip Bayless had some things to say this morning when it comes to the recipe of success or for success for the Green Bay Packers.
And if he throws a couple of picks or maybe gets sacked, fumbled once, if he has 3 turnovers, Green Bay is going to win this game. It's going to take 3 from Brock Purdy and none from Jordan Love to win this game. And I'm going to give you on talent, the thing that concerns me the most is San Francisco's defense is better than Green Bay's defense.
Thank you, Skip Bayless.
Appreciate it, Skip.
So 3 turnovers. Man. And Kyle, when we were in the pre-show, Kyle said that might not be enough. Now it's getting to the point when you say something like that, Kyle. Now it's like, are we underestimating?
It's not
the
a guarantee.
Here?
Look, if you took all 8 teams that are left in the playoffs, the 49ers probably have the best offense. The Packers probably have the worst defense. And if it's not them, they're 7.
Lions?
It's if it's not them, it's the Lions.
Yeah.
Like the problem with the Lions is they only have one competent NFL cornerback. Not even good, just competent. But with the Packers defense might be the worst of the teams still left in the playoffs.
So nobody is really giving the Packers much of a chance here, which, look, the Niners have been rolling. This is why this type of stuff happens. I'm looking here from what I'm seeing on Yahoo Sports, and they're saying it's from BetGM. I don't know if it's back up to 9.5, or I know it was down to 8, but I don't know if it went back up because I think when we had Nate, people were starting to move their goods over to the Packers.
I'm seeing it at 9.5.
So I think it went back up
to
9.5. And how are you feeling about the Niners? Is it getting to the point where because it went from Packers being the hot team, and now people said, okay, I think we're going a little crazy here. The Niners are still the Niners, and now it's kind of doing a seesaw, which is the best part of all this.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the other spreads too, or the other lines. How does it make you feel that the Baltimore-Houston spread is also 9.5? Because when hearing that, I feel like the Houston-Baltimore game is a lot closer, in my opinion.
I agree.
The Packers.
Also, they are identical on the money line, which is minus 425 for Baltimore, minus 425 for San Francisco.
People are hot on the Texans, I guess. I don't know. And Lamar hasn't really performed that well in the playoffs.
I mean, it would be the opposite. It would be people having faith. I mean, to me, 9.5 is a lot.
You're saying, I see what you're saying. You're saying it should be closer. People are probably overestimating the Ravens right now.
I would say so. I mean, I think, I mean, if the Texans Ravens is at 9.5, I feel like, I mean, it's not that crazy.
It should be
to
11.
have. I think it's not crazy to have the Niners is that high, and I'm seeing the over under is 50.5. So what? Just that would be the projected scores, essentially 20-30 is what they're saying. And I mean, that tracks for the Niners side of it. Again, they've scored 30 pretty much every week where the offenses look like it's clicking. And the question for me would be, can Green Bay get to 20 points? I mean, I know Jordan Love has looked good, but
this is a different.
That's where the 3 turnovers thing comes into play, which is just, how are the Niners going to stay under 30? They turn the ball over or kick a ton of field goals.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what.
And to Kyle's point too, if that still might not be enough, the Packers still got to execute on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even with those turnovers, like they can turn the ball over and not score, and still got Christian McCaffrey. They still got other ways of scoring. The Niners do.
Yeah, and Andy Herman, writer for the Packers, was on yesterday, and honestly, he said similar things. It comes down to this defense and how. If the Niners get past 30, this thing is probably going to be cooked for the Packers. You have to keep them under 30. And he's like, I just don't know if they can. So that is going to be the issue for the Packers. And
does the Packers being the youngest team in the NFL, does that make you feel better or worse in this matchup? Because to me, at least on the defensive end, like that,
like they
probably means you have a lot of young, fast guys who, at the very least, can keep guys in front of them.
Right, and they're not going to be scared.
Chargers.
We know this generation; they're not scared of anything.
Right.
One thing that hasn't been talked about enough, when everybody is, and Skip also talked about the losing streak and how Brock turned the ball over. Another thing, when there was a whole situation with Steve Wilkes being in the booth and not being on the sideline.
Years ago.
They could not stop the run, the Niners. And I'm looking here and I'm thinking, and this is also this is also what Andy Herman said yesterday, whoever establishes the run. And we all know about Christian McCaffrey, but I wouldn't sleep on Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, man.
Because if Aaron Jones is ever able to set the tone there and open things up, that's how and you run the football, you control the clock more.
Yeah.
That's the recipe, because then your defense isn't even on the field.
Yeah.
And more important, in the same way, the Niners offense isn't on the field. So if they are able to establish a run, and we've seen the Niners give up runs even during this winning streak after, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what they have to attempt to do.
Right. I mean, and Aaron Jones is a killer, not just on the run game either. I mean, I was looking at the numbers from the last time these two teams met in the playoffs, and I know it was a little bit different weather conditions, but Aaron Jones killed them in the passing game. I think he had 9 catches for over 100 yards from the backfield, and I think he's the guy that, if you're looking at where the Packers could surprise you on offense, if Aaron Jones just has himself a crazy day in the backfield, that could make things really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially, like you said, if they can establish it in the beginning of the game, put the Niners down 7-0 early, what happens? I don't know. I mean, just in general, we haven't seen this team down a lot early at all. And how they respond to it in a pressure, gotta have it game. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they want to get to steam rolling, and if they're not able to do that, what happens next? All right, get into a break. When we get back, more Niners talk. We will have more Brock Purdy talk. And again, Asante Cleveland joins us at 1 o'clock to break down all things Niners and all things NFL. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call, Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The red and gold seem to be as healthy as ever entering their first playoff game this weekend, using the first round bye to their advantage. Running back Christian McCaffrey returned to practice Tuesday, taking the last 2 weeks off to rest an injured calf. Additionally, Sacramento native Eric Armstead is back practicing with the team and expects to play in his first game since Week 13. San Francisco opens their 2024 postseason against Green Bay, fresh off a dominant win over Dallas.
Welcome the new year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's Indoor Potting Mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating AM/PM location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITBfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
This is just getting out of hand, man. And I'm confirming this, that I am not overblowing it, but just confirming that it's actually a thing. So I got to show you this, Chris.
Okay.
And Kyle, you can probably see from here. So we're going through, we're trying to figure out the Antonio Pierce thing, whether it's for sure or not.
Seems
right?
like it is.
Okay. So we're trying to confirm that. I'm going through social media. You can't read from here.
Yeah.
But
no, I saw that tweet as well.
So Chris Haynes tweets, and it says, a big breaking news in the middle of a DeJounte Murray picture.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And this is 9 minutes ago, and I'm going to read everybody what was actually said. And this is why, as much as I love trade season, it's also terrible.
It's terrible.
I can't stress to everybody that's driving and can't see enough. Like, it's huge.
Yes, it's huge.
And it says, the Milwaukee Bucks are among multiple teams who are registering interest in trading for Atlanta Hawks star DeJounte Murray. Breaking news, the Bucks are interested.
The standard has changed
among multiple teams.
It's
crazy,
not
even like
man.
They have become the front runner or
I thought he was moved. I thought it was over.
Yeah. This is a newsworthy story, but it's not a breaking newsworthy story.
That's crazy.
That's not great. I mean, it's deceptive, and it definitely, it does the job of getting the impression because it's definitely going to stop you as you're scrolling your feed, but it's disingenuous.
Or am I
it definitely
tripping?
leads. No, you're not tripping. You're not tripping.
You're
at
not
all.
tripping on the graphic. I mean, the story itself is a good break by Chris Haynes. Like, the idea that the Bucks are actually trying to trade for another All-Star is crazy.
Right.
But
is that breaking news?
No, because nothing happened.
No.
Well, it
definitely doesn't deserve a breaking news graph. Like, you can post a picture of DeJounte Murray, but I would not call it breaking.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I guess it's more news than it is but breaking news, it's obviously being deceptive. Yes. Breaking news makes it seem like, there's been a big trade.
Breaking news is a trade to me.
Yeah.
Not a new team is interested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe if it's like this trade was offered and it got rejected, maybe that's breaking news. But other than that, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was just double checking. We do have
You're not crazy.
We do actually have breaking news now, not in the Sacramento standpoint, but I guess technically if you are a Raiders fan, from Adam Schefter 5 minutes ago, Raiders are working to finalize a deal to hire Antonio Pierce as their head coach per sources. Raiders made Pierce their interim head coach on Halloween night and now are closing it in on making it a full-time job. Players who campaign for Pierce soon are expected to be happy. Thank you, Adam Schefter.
I'm reporting these players are expected to be happy.
And somebody did that. It was Woj. The with Pascal is expected to be excited.
It's expected to be excited
to
about
stay
signing
with the Pacers. Alan Stiles is expected to be hungry as the show ends. And I believe I will be. But shout out Antonio Pierce. I know there are a lot of Raider fans out here in Sacramento and all over NorCal. I know when it's complicated. I know that's a lot of relationships in general, specifically with Oakland teams or former. All three of them. Actually, Warriors, Raiders, and now the A's. So I know a lot of people wanted Antonio Pierce. We had a nice conversation last week about the rah-rah guy versus the X and O's guy. There are a lot of people that wanted Harbaugh. And Harbaugh, is he kind of hybrid X's and O's and rah-rah?
Yes.
Is that why people like him so much, right?
I think so, yeah.
So
Harbaugh's just his own thing.
He's just Harbaugh.
He's just weird.
We'll definitely have to ask Asante about that. Because he was part of the 2014 Niners that had Jim Harbaugh on there, and I'm sure there's got to be some stories.
30 minutes, Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end. We will ask him about the difference in coaches. Rah-rah guy, X's and O's guy. Does it matter? What do people gravitate to? I think in most things in life, it's about a balance. If you have a rah-rah guy in Antonio Pierce, or a lot of people put Dan Campbell in that or Nick Sirianni, right? Well, I know Nick Sirianni may be a little bit different, but you have to have coordinators, that help you out and are able to feed in what you don't. So Antonio Pierce, what are your thoughts? You can let us know. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. You think this is a good get for the Raiders?
I think so, because I mean, like you said, it might not be the perfect X's and O's guy. Is this the hottest new Shanahan coordinator? No, it's not. It's definitely not. But I think a bit of this is the Raiders need to establish their culture, and it feels like they have lost it a bit. I mean, the McDaniels thing, that was clearly them trying to lean into some sort of Patriot way. When you pair that with Dave Ziegler being the GM as well, I think that the Raiders are a very unique brand. I mean, that's definitely the number one thing I learned about when they moved from Oakland to Vegas. There was are people still going to care here? And I think we learned the Raiders, it really doesn't matter. And I think they said it when they moved. It doesn't matter where the Raiders are. The Raiders could be playing on the moon and people would still love them, because it's just it's a different kind of culture. I mean, like when you can almost spot a Raider fan without even knowing he's a Raider fan, or they're a Raider fan. I think that it's a really unique fan base, and I think Antonio Pierce gets it. I'm pretty sure he said he grew up a Raider fan. He does the Raider, that is all part of being a part of especially when y'all aren't winning anything either. It's something to take pride in, and I think that's really something the Raiders have desperately needed since the 2000s, really, is some pride and some identity. And if Antonio Pierce can provide even a little bit of that, I think it's a major win for the Raiders, who are frankly at the point in their organization, in their franchise, where they just need some stability, man. They got to get this thing back on track, because the Raiders can be, it's always in basketball, people say, if the basketball's not really at its best unless the Knicks are really good and in the playoffs. And it feels like football has kind of missed the Raiders. I think it's a really big brand who's got real legitimate history. And I mean, they've just been irrelevant since the John Gruden Super Bowl. And what was that? Was that literally in 2001?
They had
2002.
They had the 2016 year where Derek Carr broke his foot,
and
that's changed everything.
Jeez, I mean, the Connor Cook playoff game.
Connor Cook.
Now that the Lions won a playoff game, the Raiders have the second longest drought without winning a playoff game in the NFL.
Who's number one? Do
you have a guess?
I would have said the Jags. That's not right.
Going around.
Well, Blake Bortles won too.
Yeah, Detroit just snapped theirs.
Yeah, the Bengals also had a long one. They broke it.
Right.
They've won 5 in the last 3 years.
The Browns?
Nope. They won with Baker.
I'm looking here.
You're on the right track. It was in 2000.
2000?
2000.
Wow.
Was the last time they won a playoff game.
No, not the Panthers.
What do you mean right track?
Oh, done.
Yeah, you got
We're
it.
saying bad teams.
You got it. Yeah, you're on the right track of teams that have been historically laughing.
Well, I'm trying to remember.
Is it the Bears?
No,
the Bears made the
because they
Super
made the
Bowl.
NFC
My
Championship.
God.
Really? You guys don't have
I'm
it?
trying to remember Kurt Warner because is it Cardinals?
I gotta look at
No, Cardinals made the NFC Championship game.
Right.
There's got to be a team that we're just completely.
Yeah, you are. I'm gonna say it. It's the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I don't know if I would have guessed that.
The Miami Dolphins have the longest drought of not winning a playoff game.
Frauds.
And you said that's since 2000?
Their last playoff win was in January of 2000.
Whoa.
And the Raiders' last playoff win was January/February of 2003.
Whew. I mean, that's crazy. And I mean, the Dolphins are a lot closer to breaking that streak than the Raiders are. That's for sure.
So I'm looking here, Daniel Jeremiah, NFL media analyst for NFL.com, just at a random mock draft here because you got the quarterback. A lot of people said that if you got Harbaugh, you would also get J.J. McCarthy. I'm not big on J.J. McCarthy
I'm not
at all.
That does not make me want him
Right.
anymore.
The Raiders are picking 13th, and I'm seeing right here of the top 3 guys, literally in order. This is according to Daniel Jeremiah of NFL.com. Bears taking Caleb Williams, even though there have been fake reports that Caleb Williams refused to play for the Bears.
It was a good effort by his dad, but it didn't work.
Yeah, so Bears, unless he decides to – well, no, he already declared, so –
yeah, he was going to go no matter what.
Yeah, so Caleb Williams going 1 to the Bears, Drake May going 2 to the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels going 3 to the Patriots. Now, this becomes a very Arizona Cardinals, for what it's worth, as we discuss
the other day,
Kyler Murray and, the decision to stay with Kyler Murray as we talk to our sister station in Phoenix. Arizona Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
You got to say it like Gus Johnson. Maserati Marv.
Oh, Maserati Marv.
There you go.
So there you go. The Raiders all the way down at 13th. Do they trade up?
Mm-hmm.
I think Penix and McCarthy are around the same area. Right now, they are said to be taking an offensive tackle with their 13th pick. Yeah, so you got the coach. Now you got to go get a quarterback. And it doesn't change the fact that Devontae Adams is no spring chicken.
Right.
Doesn't change the fact that this team is not extremely young. So are you in the market? Do you – Sam, let's just keep taking the Niners backups. Sam Darnold – Can we work with Sam Darnold? I think Raiders fans.
Can you say Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson
sounds
come on
like
down.
Right,
I know Raiders fans are just sick.
Oh, that'd be gross.
I mean, if the Giants fans are tired of shopping, of going to have your friend work on the car instead of taking it to an actual shop. I know Raider fans are in that same category.
Yeah.
Can we just get our guy, even if we miss? Can we just get our guy? I'm sure that's how Raiders fans feel. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing the conversation. Also, a couple new teams as we go back to a little bit of basketball. A couple teams interested in Kuzma, and on this list, the Kings are not on it. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper, your boy Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now, if you've been on the fence about buying your first electric luxury car, it's time to get off the fence and go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I'm challenging you. Test drive any Mercedes-Benz fully electric car or SUV and you will fall in love. In fact, my new Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV is out in the parking lot right now. You know, I had a Tesla before this, but once I got the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, it felt like a brand new driving experience. It's on an entirely different level. Now, here's what I love about my EQS SUV. First of all, from the moment I sit in it, I feel like I'm stepping in a world of luxury. Plus, it's easy charging, and it has heated seats and cooling seats as well. It's an ultimate driving experience. I urge you, go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They're just 30 minutes from Sacramento. They're right off of I-5. Or, of course, you can always go online at mbfstockton.com.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there, here, buck there, buck everywhere, buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. We constantly hear about the health of the jobs market. Unemployment has been holding below 4% for some time now. One measure of employment is the participation rate. The employment participation rate is obtained by adding the employed and unemployed and dividing by the population. Those over 16 and working or looking for work make up the employment calculation. The current labor participation rate in California as of November 2023 was 62.2%, still slightly lower than the 63% rate in February of 2020 and significantly lower than the 67.5% measure in October of 1998. 60% of labor market growth over the next decade will come from those aged over 65. 62% of older workers are currently fully employed. If older Americans are forced to or choose to work longer, will this create a deficit of reliable, seasoned younger workers in the coming years? What effect could this have on the economy of the future? How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch supports and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville. Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
A little bit of Stockton/Sacramento Kings news. Daughter of Vivek Ranadive, Anjali Ranadive, has stepped down as general manager of the G League Stockton Kings to pursue her PhD. Here is the official announcement. Today, the Sacramento Kings general manager, Monty McNair, announced that Anjali Ranadive has stepped down as general manager of the Stockton Kings to pursue a PhD and focus her attention on her nonprofit Jaws and Paws. Stockton Kings assistant general manager, Gabriel Harris, will resume day-to-day responsibilities. Quote, "We are grateful to Anjali for her contributions to the Stockton Kings over the past 2 seasons," said Kings general manager Monty McNair. Under her leadership, the team has excelled on the court and is set for success in the future. I am incredibly thankful to Monty, Lindsay, and Paul for the tremendous opportunity, said Anjali Ranadive. I would also like to thank our loyal fans and everyone at the Kings organization for their support.
There you go. There you have it. Yeah. Surprising. Didn't didn't like there was no indications of this happening. So I don't know if this is premeditated at all, but nobody really had this on their bingo card. So interesting. That's really all I can say about it right now is just interesting. And I mean, we talked during the summer when she got named the official GM last year. Monty says the past 2 seasons, her contributions. Last year, she was the assistant general manager. This season, actually being the general manager. I don't think anybody really officially knows like what a Stockton or what a G League GM does. But I told you during the break, I understand the whole nepotism conversation of all this. I think that's a very real thing. I think whatever we think about it, it happens. It's a fact. There's not really much any of us can do about it, but not like it. But I will always say that, if she is going to be the owner of this team one day, if Vivek just passes the team down to her ownership, at least she has some idea of how NBA front offices actually operate. Even if it's just a slight idea, only running the team for half a season, it's better than nothing and her coming in, frankly, like Vivek did, saying we should run 4-on-5 and, having a lot of input and things like that, sticking his nose where he probably shouldn't. At least maybe Anjali has a much better idea of really how to stay uninvolved as the owner.
Right. And it's it's a delicate topic, all of it.
For sure.
Okay. And yeah, there's the Mark Cubans of the world. Now, Mark Cuban is outspoken and he sold.
He just sold, yeah.
Right. But even when he was in his heyday, it was a lot of, I don't know how much he was actually involved. He was there, but I don't know how much he thought that he knew basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So they're different levels.
It's more of like a Buss situation with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Where, you see Jerry Buss turn the team over to Jeannie, and, Jeannie was always the one that everyone said should have been in charge anyway. And she, she had a great relationship with Phil Jackson. They were married, but also had a good relationship with Kobe and the players. And, hopefully Anjali can have a similar thing, because I think Jeannie Buss, in her prime as an owner, was one of the best owners that or governors, as they're called now, that the NBA had.
There you go. All right. That is the newest news as far as the Kings, the Stockton Kings. So good luck to Anjali, and thank you for what you did for
have fun in school.
The Kings. Yes. Organization. Have fun in school, right? Finals are right around the corner. So you have Sam Amico, who's been putting out a lot of content for Hoops Wire lately. And most recently, Chris, a team that we didn't bring up as far as the pride conversation and who the Kings have coming up. And I know they haven't been playing well, but after the Hawks, they got the Warriors.
Dub Nation.
They got the Warriors at Chase Center. And that's another team that are going to, as always, use the Kings as a palate cleanser and a get right. Obviously, they don't play again, or they're done until, do they play today? Because I know
the Warriors.
Yeah, I know they got pushed.
I don't keep up with their schedule.
Right, it got postponed. The Dallas game, so it looks like the next time, by the time
they were supposed to play Wednesday before playing.
Yeah, it looks like their next game, based on what I'm seeing, and I might be mistaken. I'm just seeing it says postponed for Mavericks, Warriors, and then it says they definitely play Wednesday, January 24th, and then it is a back-to-back. It's an at-home back-to-back, so they play the Hawks, and then right after that, on that Wednesday, they play the Hawks. Then on the Thursday, the Kings go to visit, and the Kings again will be well rested.
They sure will.
Well rested. They wouldn't have played
play well
since
with rest.
They wouldn't have played since, because they're going to play on this Monday. Then they will not play again. And again, to start the road trip, I would say that's pretty good, right? Makes sense logistically. They're not having to go across the country. You're just going an hour and 40
They'll probably
away.
Leave on Thursday, as a matter of fact. Like they're going to be here for a while, right? Like there's no need to, in Golden State, you could leave at noon and be there for a 2:30 shoot around or something like that.
There you go. So we talked about Chris Haynes, how it said breaking that the Bucks are now interested, I guess, officially interested in DeJounte Murray, which I don't actually know how that will look. By the way, are you just trying to give away Chris Middleton? What's happening?
I guess that would be the contract too, right? Yeah, I mean, Middleton has not looked.
He's been injured a lot.
He's been injured, and I think it's starting to catch up with him. I think you're kind of seeing a little bit of what's happened with Klay Thompson happening with Chris Middleton now, where, part of what made him so great was the two sides of the ball versatility. And if he just can't provide anything defensively because his knees are so shot, and on the offensive end, he's not producing offensively either to that level, it's really tough. I mean, it's pretty much like you just lost that player in total. It's like the same way the Kings have just lost Kevin Huerter.
They do not have to give up Middleton in that deal because Murray only has $18 million against the cap this year. So they can do a Connaughton, campaign, Jay Crowder, and draft pick straight.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, Middleton is now a fourth option. Yeah. That's pretty darn good. Right. And he already has a ring. So
you got to figure out the Dame DeJounte.
That's
thing,
what I'm thinking.
The DeJounte Trey thing didn't work out too well.
Yeah. DeJounte wasn't really a three shooter, then got to Atlanta and really started to shoot the three ball well. So they got to figure that out. I guess the Bucks are just going they're going all in. And I respect the heck out of it. Getting back to Sam Amico before we get to a break, he writes a piece where he has 3 teams interested in Kyle Kuzma. And those 3 teams, bizarre. It's just bizarre, besides one of them. The not bizarre team is the Golden State Warriors. The 2 bizarre teams to me, and maybe they're trying to just re-up while they're down, kind of like the Warriors were supposed to do, but they picked James Wiseman. The Memphis Grizzlies are interested in Kyle Kuzma. So that's interesting to me. That's a little weird. And the other one that's maybe less weird because you have to get good at some point. By the way, there's been some spicy takes on Greg Popovich lately. I don't know if you've seen. There's been some spicy takes on Greg Popovich. The other team interested in Kyle Kuzma, the San Antonio Spurs. So trying to upstart their situation. You got the Spurs, Warriors trying to salvage their situation, and the Grizzlies. I guess they have some younger guys they could move off of if they think their core, Bane, Jaren Jackson, Ja, and Kyle Kuzma. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know why they would make that move now, though, with
That's
Ja
what I'm saying.
Season.
That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get unless they just think they have the assets and they just want to take advantage of a situation. But I can guarantee the last thing Kyle Kuzma wants to do, I guess you're playing with the light at the end of the tunnel and getting Ja back. But, yeah, those are the 3 teams Sam Amico has brought up. Getting to a break. When we get back, Asante Cleveland joins us for the next hour. Former NFL tight end to talk all things NFL. Get your calls in, get your texts in to talk to Asante about the Niners and the NFL playoffs. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs continues Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the AFC's top seed Baltimore Ravens as they look to back up the league's best record when they host the upstart Houston Texans.
Then the 49ers start their postseason as they host the Green Bay Packers. Texans and Ravens at 1:30, Packers and 49ers at 5:15.
The NFL playoffs right here on your home for Super Bowl 58, Sactown Sports.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Welcome the new year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's indoor potting mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
We're from Washington. We love Febrez's new scent. Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
I can't escape this feeling inside. Refresh and energize. It's a mood, it's a vibe. Breathing for the first time. So free, so alive. Breathe happy for free. Smells like paradise. Breathe happy for free. La, 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 la.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
It's 1:05, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports on a Football Friday, NFL Friday. And as promised, we are joined by former NFL tight end Asante Cleveland, Sacramento's finest, joining us for the next hour. Asante, thanks for joining us, man. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys so much for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming on. Obviously, you know, you and I, we go, we're in the same circle. Yeah. So yeah, we go back a little bit, and I definitely knew with all the football stuff going on this weekend, Niners playing, I was like, we got to get Asante in here, get some insight on on the games this weekend. And yeah, man, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it, man. So, I mean, first and foremost, for people who aren't really familiar with you, you mentioned, yeah, we know each other from Christian Brothers. Just kind of fill people in on your background a bit, where you went to high school, when you went to college, your NFL journey, and what you got going on since.
Yeah, Sacramento native, went to Christian Brothers High School where I first got introduced to playing football. Didn't like it at first, but got pretty good. One of the most proudest achievements of my career is we won the Holy Bowl my senior year after a 9-year drought. From there, I had the opportunity to play at the University of Miami, where it was a legacy institution.
Especially for tight ends, man.
Yeah,
Jeremy
sure.
Shockey,
And around that same
Greg
time where I was
Olsen.
getting recruited, the U documentary came out. So I got to just see the glory of what Miami was in the 80s, 90s. And it was a no-brainer decision for me. I went there, had an up-and-down career, played a lot my freshman year. And then for my sophomore and junior year, I was riding the pine. And then my senior year, I figured it out, got on the field, was primarily a run-blocking tight end, had a couple opportunities in the pass game. But I did just enough to go undrafted to the 49ers my rookie year, then got traded to the Patriots my next year, then finished my career out with 2 years of the Chargers. So I was there in the NFL for 4 years. Since transitioning out, I've written a book about my experience and what I've learned through life lessons from what I learned from sports and overcoming obstacles. I'm a speaker, and I've had an opportunity to be on Channel 3 talking sports and some Niners postgame show.
Yeah, I've definitely caught those. You and Michelle Dapper doing great things, breaking down all things 49ers. We got plenty of time to talk Niners as we're here with Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end. I want to just take a second to talk about, before I get to, we got the recruiting process and not getting signed. Obviously, Brock Purdy barely got drafted, right? But I mean, you walk in here, I got to ask the question, was there you hear this all the time with Jimmy Graham. Did you have a basketball or football situation, or did you not play basketball?
In high school?
Yeah, or in general, I guess.
No, I was a basketball player. I thought I was a basketball player.
Yeah.
Then my junior year, reality kind of hit me to where I was getting no attention in basketball. And then I got my first football offer. And I hadn't really put that much effort and attention into football. And that's when it clicked where, all right, if I'm going to go to college for free, it's going to be through football. So I spent my senior year just studying all the top tight ends at my position. I think they had me ranked number 63 at tight end in the country. And after my senior year, my rating went up to 15. And that's when University of Miami offered me.
How does that whole process work? I mean, when you're in high school, I have no idea how much it's changed since then, but the ranking system is pretty much everything, right? Like, how much of that is going to camps and just kind of getting your, putting film out there, sending it out to coaches? Like, what is that process like just in terms of getting noticed?
I think I did it a little different than most of the kids when I was coming up, because there was a lot of emphasis on camps, but I didn't want to go to a bunch of camps because, especially now that I've been in college, camps are essentially money grabs for a lot of these college coaches. There's going to be 200 kids at this camp, and not one of them is going to get an offer. Maybe one or two may get some interest, but you go to these camps with these high hopes and there's nothing really that comes from it. I figured that if I was good enough, then somehow they would find me. And I focused on putting out a good highlight tape. Since I had studied all of these number one tight ends in the countries and seeing like, okay, what are they doing that is getting all this attention and notoriety, and what can I do to try to replicate it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. We got some sound here from Coach Prime about the NIL, because times are changing here, right? It's what, and that's what we want to hear from you. But before we get to the sound on Prime, the other part of this that, you have Nick Saban retiring, and it's not just the NIL, it's also the transfer portal. You said that you actually sat at the U. Do you think about that, how things would have changed if the transfer portal was available at that time? And what do you think about the transfer portal in general?
It's not that the transfer portal wasn't available. It's just the rule was if you transferred, you had to sit out for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And while that time when, like, my junior year, I had high hopes of like, okay, I'm going to get back on the field. I played a little bit, but not enough to really make a difference. And at that point, I wanted to transfer. I had talked to my dad about like maybe looking at some other colleges, but decided to stick it out. I could not imagine how hard it is as a coach to maintain and build culture when it is so easy and so attractive for a player to just jump ship so quickly. On the flip side, there are a lot of people that are leaving these schools and not finding a suitable home, and they're putting themselves at more of a disadvantage. So I think that if you have a legit opportunity to go and play and your NIL earning potential goes up and you can go to a bigger program, then go for it. But if you're just frustrated and don't really have a plan, it's kind of more of an emotional response that I don't think is a good idea to just jump.
There's no way 16, 17-year-olds are going to make emotional decisions, right?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah. They got a great infrastructure of help.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, and the allure of, and I know you said your recruiting was a little different, but everybody wants to be recruited. You get to relive that over and over and over again. These guys are taking official trips as they're already at these Power 5 big conferences. It's crazy.
Money's involved now.
And money's involved now too. Let's hear from Coach Prime. He's talking about these price tags. It's ridiculous.
I texted him, man, you crazy. That's what I texted him when I saw his tweet today. We got to win, man. We got to win. I mean, that's what he's on. But you talking about probably our best recruiter is Shador and Trav. Kids want to play with them. They want to get down with them. That's why the whole offensive line has been changed. It's a lot of movement, but it's a price tag on everything nowadays. It ain't just a kid, man. They need to just jump in the portal with what they cost.
Hey, 100,000 here, 50,000 here.
50 get your walk on these days.
That's from RG3's podcast with Coach Prime. And look, me and Kyle went back and forth as far as Coach Prime, if he was being a little tongue-in-cheek with the 50K. But this is crazy, man. Yeah. This is a new frontier.
Imagine having 50,000, apparently on the low end, having $50,000 in college.
Yeah. Nice.
I thought I was balling when I had $500 in my account. But yeah, the landscape has changed. There are legit millionaires.
Did you see Caleb Williams? The picture of his car, the picture of his penthouse.
Did you see his Richard Mille on the sideline?
Yeah. It's
crazy.
Well, and it just makes, he did end up declaring Caleb, but there was a big question. Hey, does he really have to?
Does it make sense?
Well, I'm thinking back to Matt Leinart. I'll never forget that senior year of Matt Leinart. It was senior year, and he was taking I think a ballet class because he didn't need to take any more.
Right.
Imagine doing that, but also getting paid, right? Yeah. So I think the whole thing is interesting. I know for me, and I'm curious your thoughts on this because baseball does not. I played baseball in college. Did not. I don't know what, maybe I would have got free pizza from the local pizza shop or something like that. But a lot of people have the conversation of, hey, you're getting free. They're getting free education, right? That should be the pay. That's enough. And to be honest with you, because baseball doesn't even get the amount of scholarships of NFL or college football players, I was kind of in that camp because I'm over here still trying to, I don't have enough meal money. And these big old football players are eating it up. They're having the time of their life. And it wasn't until I left school and I really put into perspective how much money these dudes are bringing into these schools that I thought, all right, this is a whole different level because it's one thing to say, okay, yeah, they're getting paid to go to school. And that is not incorrect. But if you look at I remember, I think Brian Gumbo said it years ago, what a great business model. You make billions and you don't get to pay you don't have to pay the employees anyway. And they're still technically not getting paid to play.
Yeah, they're not getting paid. And in a lot of cases, they're also not getting the education that they're promised because their whole schedule has to fit around what the team allows. I remember I was getting recruited by Cal. And at that time, all of the football players had to either be like a psychology major or a criminal justice major because those schedules best fit the football schedules. Wow. So a lot of these guys were getting funneled into these majors that might not serve them the best after college.
Yeah.
And also, and up until now, apparently, college athletes were the only people on campus that were not allowed to prepare for their future. Other students can go take internships in the summer. They can go meet with other businesses. They can go get a side job. Athletes, but because of the NCAA rules, were not allowed to do anything of the such. They couldn't even get an agent to help put them in the right position for when they did make the transition to professional sports. So the whole amateurism facade was just that. It was just
right. And now it's out in the open real quick because you mentioned Cal and that note about where you go or what you're going to do. Because a lot of these guys don't get drafted or don't get signed. Right. I did an internship at Cal when I was done. So this was about 2014, 2015. And they had a guy who was a coach, right? But really he was a career coach. Hey guys, I know you're going to the league, but just in case you do, here's just in case you don't, here are situations to put you in, and what else are you interested in? He told me, he said, Alan, this is in 2014, maybe there are more now. Alan, there are only 2 programs in the country that have something like this, Cal and Michigan. That's it. Wow. Everybody else, thank you for your service. We'll send you on your way.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was when I was in college. There was no real effort on the program to get people prepared for if you don't go to
which is a majority of the kids, right?
Majority, 99% do not.
Yeah.
So hopefully that has built up over time, that there's more programs getting these college athletes prepared for life after sport, because regardless of if you play in the professional ranks, no matter how long, you are not going to be an athlete for the rest of your life.
Right.
So having the right information on what you can do post sport, hopefully it's later down the road, but if it is right after college, that information is so vital because athletes spend so much of their lives dedicated and committed to this one thing, and it becomes so much of a part of their identity that when it's gone, there's a huge loss of self,
totally
a long period of self-discovery that a lot of us go through, and having resources to help prepare us for that next step would be very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, when you saying that, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Netflix show Last Chance U, and that's really, I mean, the biggest takeaway I always take every single season is just like, man, these guys are in JUCO, they're still grinding, but every single one of these kids believes they're still going to the league. And like a lot of it is just like you're saying, it's a lot of discovery process of figuring out, who am I outside of what I do? And, you know, now that kids are getting paid, like we said, in some cases, millions of dollars in NIL, forget after college. It seems like they need some almost, you know, how are these kids going to learn how to handle money, how to say, hey, look, while you are in that figuring out process, you're making a ton of money right now. Put some away. Here's how to invest. Here's some good options to, you know, maybe you can invest back in the school. There's tons of different things you can do.
No.
I don't think here's how to tell people no might be the number one thing those kids should learn. And it doesn't feel like even now that stuff exists while the kids are in school. It feels like a majority, if at all, is focused on the post-school career, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're making strides in the right direction. As of right now, this whole NIL deals, it's kind of the wild, wild west.
Right.
Hopefully some more structure gets created around it, but overall, they're moving in the right direction, and I'm happy for all these kids. I just wish I was born
just later. 10 years later. You would have
I'm sure you're not alone. Even myself. I mean, I would have taken the free pizza at the time. I would have taken anything. Talking to Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, as we kind of go through your career. And if you're listening now about 1:30, 1:45, we'll talk Niners. Obviously, Asante, an NFL analyst. We'll talk Niners. We'll get the NFL picks in. But this is such a unique opportunity for us to have somebody in who played in the league and to have conversations about things that me and Chris don't have any context on, right? So I want to break down, or have you break down, what happens, your thought process, and what happens next. Mr. Irrelevant gets called in the draft. So you said, okay, it's not happening. What is the very next thing that happens for you?
Well, you really hope that your name's going to get called. But fortunately, throughout the draft process, my agent was letting me know that which teams were interested. I had done private workouts for some teams like the Dolphins, the Cardinals, before the draft. So I knew there was some interest in other places. But once that final name's called, you talk to your agent and say, all right, here's a game plan. This team's calling. They're offering maybe a little bit of a signing bonus. This team really wants you, but they're offering no signing bonus. And I ended up originally, it was between the Patriots and the Niners. And I originally said, all right, I want to go to the Patriots. But the Patriots signed Asa Watson, who I played with in the NFLPA College Bowl. Great dude, great tight end. But his brother, Ben Watson, had played for the Patriots. And the Patriots are very big on, like, if one brother played there, they will find a way to get the other brother. So they'd end up signing Asa instead. So I was like, all right, I want to go to the Niners then.
Right.
So that's how that originally happened. And when you get there, you are low man on the totem pole, and you quickly realize how fast this can all be over, because there are guys cycling in and out all the time. One of the other undrafted free agents that came in with me, he was dealing with a hernia issue at the same time. And for the first couple weeks, he didn't practice. And then all of a sudden, he was just gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never seen again.
Never seen again.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of, we'll get into some, I'm sure you have some rookie stories, right? I don't know if they got you with we just see so-and-so made the rookies pay this $20,000 bill. Then it turns out they don't actually make him do it. All right, get into a break. When we get back, continuing to talk to Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end. We are going to talk about the Niners, what they are going to be able to do this weekend against the Packers. We're also going to talk to Asante about his experience in the NFL, playing against some of the guys and coaches that are still in the NFL as well. All right, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucs and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time to buck up Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get your tickets for a weekend of non-stop bucking action this February 2nd through 4th.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
You own a truck because you want to get the job done right. TruckSmart is your work truck headquarters. For over 35 years, they've been outfitting trucks for leading construction firms, service providers, and municipalities in the region. Truck racks, toolboxes, lighting, commercial shells, rhino lining, they've got it all. And their expert installers will get it done right the first time. So visit the truck experts at TruckSmart today, with locations in Rockland and Auburn. They'll make your truck your favorite tool. TruckSmart.com. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now, starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
The 2024 Honda Civic LX sedan from Elk Grove Honda offers all the safety, reliability, performance, and great gas mileage you've come to expect from Honda for all these years. With anti-lock brakes, tire pressure monitoring system, backup camera, and Honda safety sensing package including collision mitigation braking system, you can see why a sporty, redesigned Civic from Elk Grove Honda gives you a lot for your money. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. It's a new year. So, Chad, the big question, what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
We're starting the year off with even more savings. Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy-duty trucks with no payments for 90 days. That means you can get the new personal or company truck you've been needing and not make a payment for 3 months.
But why choose Hoblet versus all the other guys?
Because we not only have the best savings, we have the best selection of the hard-to-find heavy-duty trucks you need. Plus, when you come to Hoblet, you get the big city savings with the small town family feel. There's a reason why so many of our customers buy from us over and over again.
Aha! See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 98.34 factory rebates and 51.66 dealer discount. Rebates may include 1,000 case equipment bonus cash. Must have purchased qualifying new equipment from case dealer. No payments for 90 days through Chrysler Capital on approved credit. 10th is net savings. See dealer for details.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We are back. Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, Sacramento Hall of Fame. I put you in the Sacramento Hall of Fame. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. Asante, we were talking during the break, and as we move into your playing career, you have any funny stories? I know you said Jimmy G's your guy. You have any funny stories from any guys that you played with, any coaches, anything like that?
Funny stories.
Radio safe, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I don't have anything crazy. It was when I was in New England.
Mm-hmm.
It was just such a eye-opening experience getting to be around some of the most talented people in their field, like obviously Tom Brady. I got to play with Gronk, and then Coach Belichick's the coach. But I thought what was just funny was how down to earth and kind of goofy Tom could be.
Right. We didn't really see that until the Bucks, till he went with the Bucks and he started posting more on socials. That's kind of when we started to see Tom, his personality. It felt like when he was in New England, people kind of said push that stuff down
a little bit. Well, all right. Here is what's funny. Coach Belichick would get us prepared for every game. We would watch teams that we weren't even playing on a Monday and just see all of their mistakes that they would make throughout the game and just talk situationally, why we don't do this and all that. We would always have almost a script of what to say when a reporter would ask you something.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But the rule was rookies just shut the So that's what you see in New England. Rookies never talk to the media. So I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
You haven't been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the Patriot way is a very specific way. How was that? I mean, was it truly they always say the Patriot way is its own specific way? Did you feel that? I mean, you weren't, around a ton of different organizations or anything before that, but just did it feel different to be in that Patriots locker room?
Very different. just based off the work ethic, I got traded to New England in my second year after a preseason game in San Francisco.
Wow.
My old tight end coach, who was then the defensive coordinator for the Niners, Eric Mangini, after I got told I was traded, I immediately went to his office and told him, and he was like, hey, it's different out there. You're going to work way harder. This is kind of cupcake, what we've been doing. Like, a lot of the stuff is going to be very different out there. So kind of like get your mind right. And he was right. But in a way, it was almost like seeing football done right. We still were running. We were still doing conditioning drills throughout the season where no team does that.
Yeah.
We were running hill sprints on every Tuesday. And then after those sprints, all of the young guys, the practice squad guys, you had another period of 10-play football that you had to work through to further develop your abilities, make sure you know the offense, and make sure you're like getting opportunities to make plays, which not every team does that, which seems like an obvious way to like develop your young talent, but not every team does that. So they do all of the little things very well. And then having one of the smartest football minds of all time around and the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
You see success.
Right. Yeah, of course. And that's what they have a lot of. Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end. Getting back to the Bay Area here. And if I say the two words, and you have been connected or are connected with two guys that are NFL coaches or will be as far as Jim Harbaugh is concerned, but Gerard Mayo and now Jim Harbaugh. If I say the words Jim Harbaugh to you, what comes to mind?
Goofy.
Really?
Goofy. But one of my favorite people. I originally had this idea of him before I got to the team that he was just always just yelling at people.
Yeah, maniac.
That he was just out of his mind. But being there, he's such a player's coach, but the only time he's really yelling is at the ref. He's never really yelling at players. So he is such just a funny, down-to-earth guy. I remember him telling the story when I guess the Colts were letting him go. They sat him down and were like, hey, Jim, we're going to go in a new direction. And Jim was like, great, which way are we going? But no, he's a great coach, and he's proven time and time again that he knows how to build and develop a tough team.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, we've seen even college, like Nick Saban wasn't really able to find success in the NFL. Pete Carroll was someone who was able to find both. What do you think about Jim makes him able to succeed in both leagues or both organizations?
I think the fact that he was a quarterback for a long time, he knows how to build rapport with everybody on the team. He knows what it feels like to be that leader and that focal point in the locker room. And he's done a great job of letting people be themselves. And he's always had great coordinators and coaches around him. Right. So I think that's also added to his success. But we had probably the most talented team I've ever been on when I was with the Niners. But going from like seeing what works and what doesn't, the issue was there was so much. The leadership was not on the same page, as opposed to like the GM, ownership, and Coach Harbaugh. They were not on the same page. And you see that is what eventually caused the erosion, because I was there for his last game. We had just beaten the Cardinals. We're getting to the locker room, we're celebrating the win, and Coach calls it up and is like, hey, I just want to let you guys know this is going to be my last game, and kind of like looks back to ownership and they're like, yep, yeah, last game. Wow. And then, so you see, like, that's where it was coming from, but great coach. But having ownership and the decision makers all on the same page plays a huge part of success.
Yeah. So you said you can kind of feel it. Were you surprised when he said that it was actually over, or did it feel like the team wasn't really surprised?
We had heard a little bit of rumblings that Michigan was interested in him. So it wasn't a complete shock, but he was a great coach. It wasn't like we were having a horrible year. We went 8-8 that year. We definitely underachieved based off the amount of talent we had, but he was a great coach, and that was undeniable. Yeah. So it was more an ownership decision of like, we think we know better. Right. And for a while, you proved that they didn't.
Rumor is that he's headed to another one of your former teams, the Chargers. You think he can? I mean, the saying goes, as Kyle, the not anymore Chargers fan. I don't know why you're raising your hand.
7-year recovering Charger fan.
Yeah, there you go. You think he's the guy? You know, the saying goes, Charger's gonna Charger. Do you think he can change? Can he change that culture?
I think so. If one thing Coach Harbaugh knows how to do is he knows how to develop a tough team, a resilient team with a good culture. So I believe that if there is anybody fit for the task of unchargering the Chargers, I think it's Coach Harbaugh.
Not possible.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I mean, you also played with we mentioned Gerard Mayo with his last year in New England. I mean, what were your impressions of him in his playing time, and are you surprised to see him rise the ranks and become the coach? I know he's kind of had that placeholder for a couple years in New England, but like, what were your thoughts on Gerard as a leader when he was a player, and how he could potentially take this? I mean, the hardest thing you can do in sports is replace a legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's exactly what he's going to try and do.
Mayo was a great leader when I got there. So I was with him his last season. So he wasn't in the prime of his career when he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he was a huge fixture in helping the other linebackers get right. So we had talented guys like Jamie Collins, Dante Hightower, Jonathan Freeney, and he was a big voice in making sure like everybody was on the same page, and a real just down-to-earth person. It's always fun when you're in a locker room where the defense and the offense all get along. They all work together. They try to help each other, and I think that he played a part in that. So I believe that now that he has this awesome opportunity to coach in New England, that he'll be able to bring that and provide that continuity and just overall leadership to that team.
How do you I mean, you can't replicate what Belichick did. Like you said, I mean, his attention to detail is second to none. And I mean, he's a legend for those reasons, but how can he try and keep the Patriot way, but at the same time, put his own spin on it?
I think he'll be able to keep the core tenets of just the Patriot way is just focusing on your job.
Sure.
You don't need to do anything extra. You don't need to, you hear a lot of guys who they'll have a big fumble in the game. In the post-game interview, they'll say, oh, I was just trying to make a play. You don't need to. All you need to do is catch the ball, get yards, go down. You don't need to do anything extra. And that's what the focus was in New England. Like, just do your job. So I think that he will continue that mindset, but I think he'll also bring a fresh, new kind of perspective and energy to the team. Him being a former player, I think, will also immediately give that buy-in from the rest of the team. So I don't think he'll have to replicate Belichick, but I think he'll carry the most important parts from it.
Right.
Before we get to a break, you say the words Asante Cleveland on Sacramento airwaves, and people want to be a part of the conversation. I don't know if you recall, a Coach Doug is on the line, Asante, who wants to talk to you, a former assistant coach or coach of yours who wants to give his piece. What's up, Coach Doug? What you got?
Hey, this is fantastic to be able to talk with the young man again. He was a freshman at Christian Brothers, and I was coaching there. And I told him, I said, after I found out that he was going to get drafted by the Niners, for college, that he was going to go to the university, and then he'd end up with the Niners, which was fantastic. I said, hey, they're going to say, Asante Cleveland, the U. And I told him that's 10 plus years ago, 15 years ago. And he was a tremendous player for us on that team. We go 21-2. He was 6'5", and I had another tall guy that was 6'4", and we were pretty dominating, and just a wonderful young man at the time. And I've seen his mom and dad a few times, and I'm just very happy for you. I'm glad that you had a career and keep on to continue to do stuff with football. So I am still coaching, and that's been a while now, but thank you so much. I don't have any questions for you. I just know that you're probably very excited to be in the situation you are in your life. So thank you so much.
Coach, it's great to hear from you. Yeah, we had a great freshman team. Our freshman, the freshman basketball team at Christian Brothers,
and that's rare.
Yeah, we were really good. We won our league that year. Yeah, we were like 21-2. Yeah,
you were on the freshman team.
Yeah.
But then we couldn't call you up.
But then I got called up for the playoffs. But then my sophomore year, I played varsity. It should have been earlier than that. Yeah, so I never did JV.
You've always been a big kid too, huh? Like
I was always tall. I never had a huge growth spurt. I always just kind of steadily grew.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, shout out Coach Doug. Thanks for calling. That was great stuff. Got to get to a break. When we get back, it's time for Asante Cleveland to put on his analyst hat. Not only is he picking the Niners game, we're also breaking down his thoughts on Brock Purdy and the other games in the NFL playoff slate this weekend. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast. With a buck here, a buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Couple more minutes with you as we are joined by Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end and Sacramento legend, getting calls, getting texts about it. Been great stuff. And we've also had some great conversations off air as well, which lets us know that this can't be the last time. We will have to have you back, Asante. But all right, it's time to do some NFL analysis here. And before we get into the picks, we got to ask you the hottest question in the NFL right now. What are your thoughts on Brock Purdy?
I think people have blown this whole game manager identity out of proportion. You want somebody who's going to manage the game very well, and he's done that. He's one of the most accurate throwers in the NFL. He makes great decisions. He makes quick decisions, which is great. So he is an elite quarterback. He's played to that standard, but because of where he's drafted, people can want to continue to focus on that.
You think that's a big part of it, the draft?
For sure. If he was a #1 overall pick playing like this, he would be on every commercial right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like game manager is just a negative term? Like when you hear it in general, would you?
I think people mean it in a negative way.
Yeah.
I think he does a great job of managing the game, but he also makes a lot of plays. He's a game changer as well. So I think people pick and choose when they want to see the great highlights he makes versus the few arid throws that he'll make.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because he has a couple throws this year that, I mean, you know, there's some Debo back shoulder throws.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the 2 or 3 games in a row where the first drive in the second half, he's throwing deep balls that are right on the money. I think McCaffrey had one where he was wide open. Ayuk had one. Kittle had one. It just feels like it's overblown how much. I mean, Brock is out there making plays.
Yeah, he's making plays, and he is what they've needed.
Yeah, well, is it one of those things, as the kids say, if you know ball, you know that Brock is actually a baller? Because there have been, I mean, from Amy Trask, who's an NFL exec, there have been a lot of people that are supposed to know ball. And the Cam Newton thing, to me, I thought what Amy Trask said, and I don't know if you saw it or not, how there are 7, what was it, 7?
She said there's 7 terrific quarterbacks and Brock Purdy.
Yes, there's 7 terrific quarterbacks left in the NFL and Brock Purdy. And I thought that was way worse than what Cam Newton said when Cam was just kind of categorizing people. Can you be an elite game changer? Can you be this? Can you be that? Bottom line is, can you win games, right?
Yeah. Can you do what the offense needs you to do?
Right.
I think he executes in Shanahan's offense exactly how the game plan is set up. So he doesn't do more than he's required.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the game this weekend, and we'll get your Super Bowl pick as well. Niners, how you feeling about it? The line is 9.5. The Packers, you got a hot quarterback in Jordan Love. I'm not too worried about the Niners taking care of business. Do you think that the Niners should be on upset alert at all, or the Niners got this one?
I think they got this one. What they need to focus on is stopping the run. Hopefully we have the real Sacramento legend back on the field, Eric Armstead. I think he'll play a big part in helping stop the run because they're going to try to pound the ball with Aaron Jones. And if they can contain the run and then just operate their offense how they have been all year, I think they'll win.
I don't know how much of Jordan Love you've seen this year, but I mean, what are your thoughts on? I mean, last week he looked incredible.
Yeah, I watched last week's game, and he was just as effortless as a thrower that you would ever see. So they hit on another quarterback again, apparently, which is great to see. I think what makes the Packers dangerous this week is that they're playing with house money. They were supposed to go home last week, and they're still here. So those teams are always dangerous.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, a couple guys are out. Chiefs are a bit down, but you can never count out Patrick Mahomes. The NFC, when you're looking at, all right, the other quarterbacks, the other NFC quarterbacks, no disrespect to those guys, but between Baker and Jared Goff, Jordan Love, who's young, Brock Purdy, who's young, the Niners, this has got to be the year, right? I mean, you got to get there, but maybe not win, but you got to get there, right?
I think they have what it takes to get there. The way everything has fallen into place, Dallas got knocked up.
Yeah.
So I think they have what it takes to get to the Super Bowl for sure. And just go as you laid out those quarterbacks, that lady said there's 7 good quarterbacks.
That's right.
She was
That's
putting
right.
Baker Mayfield
That's
over
right.
Brock Purdy.
Yes. That is correct.
Yes.
That is
clarify that.
You heard correct.
Yes,
You heard correct.
That is
she knows ball.
Absolutely correct.
Do you know ball?
And then that other Saturday game too, Ravens Texans. I mean, your thoughts on CJ Stroud, his performance as a rookie, and you talk about playing with house money. They weren't supposed to beat the Browns last week. I think there's a chance that they can give the Ravens a game. And then you got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson kind of stole that MVP from Brock, if you will. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Once again, playing with house money. I think that the Houston Texans are just a perfect dream scenario of every NFL team, that they'll get a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, and they'll be in the playoffs that year. They are in a great position to succeed. Now, Lamar Jackson is a different animal. I don't think they'll be able to do enough to contain him, but I think the next 2 or 3 years, the Houston Texans will be in the conference championship.
Wow.
That's I mean, yeah, and shout out D'Amico, who's, like you said, rookie year. I don't think anybody had forget playoffs. Like, I don't think people expected them to have an above 500 record.
They were a horrible franchise last year.
Yeah. Getting back to D'Amico, and we talked about Gerard Mayo. Quick conversation before we do the rest of the picks about coaching. Do you feel like there's a new wave of coaches coming in? I don't know what happened. Well, Mike McCarthy's staying, right? But these younger guys that are more outgoing and they're running up and down the sidelines, does it feel like there's starting to become a bit of a shift in what the trend is for these coaches, or will there always be some names? There'll always be some names that'll get circulated around, but it feels like teams are starting to head towards, okay, well, if we're going defensive, this guy raw versus non-raw. Now Antonio Pierce gets the Raider job. Do you feel like there's a shift in what players are wanting out of a coach?
I don't know if it's necessarily a shift in what players want. I think players always wanted to be treated with respect by someone who knows what they're doing and has their best interests at heart, and that can put them in the best position to succeed. I think players will always want that. I think the trend changed once Sean McVay won a Super Bowl. Once a young coach was able to prove that he was capable, now you see the NFL going a little younger when they hire a coaching staff. So I think it's a good shift, but I think there will always be those legacy names that get circulated.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, couple more minutes left here as we go throughout the rest of the NFL. And a hot name based on how you feel about him. He can be hot or cold. Chiefs at Bills. What you thinking there?
All right. I am pulling for the Bills on this one.
Okay.
I think that if there is ever a time for them to get it right and snap out of it and finally slay the dragon, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, Kyle. I think
they've gotten about as close as you can get without actually doing it.
For sure. And they're at home. The stars have aligned. They have to get it done. I think Josh Allen has played very well down this stretch. They just need to limit turnovers. The Chiefs have a great defense, but I think the Chiefs are as vulnerable as we're going to see them. So I think this is the year for the Bills.
Last one. Bucks at Lions. Nobody thought the Lions were even going to beat the Rams. That was the dark horse team. They get that done. Baker Mayfield, 2 terrific quarterbacks, Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. Who you got in Detroit?
I got Detroit. I really like what they've done. It's the best story in NFL. This team that has been shut out from playoffs for 32 years, and now they're hosting back-to-back playoff games. It's a great story. I think the energy in there will be electric. I think Jared Goff will do exactly what it takes, minimize turnovers. They have a great offensive line, running game. They're a little vulnerable in defense, but I think they should beat the Bucs.
There you go. We got to get out of here. Thank you again to Asante Cleveland, former NFL tight end, Sacramento legend. Thank you so much. Asante, you're going to be back on. Where can we see you again? KCRA soon?
I won't be on this weekend.
Okay.
But hopefully next weekend.
Well, the Niners are going to win, so we will see you. We will catch you there next weekend. Thank you to our guy, Kyle Ledbetter, and to all the callers and texters in the Sack Chat for today. Everybody have a good weekend. Chris Watkins, Alan Stiles. We will talk to you on Monday, hopefully celebrating a Niners W. Until then, secure the bag, light the beam.
Did you know some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure? That's alarming. Fortunately, there's Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. It's specially formulated without alcohol, sugar, or decongestants to provide fast, powerful cold and flu symptom relief for people with high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, try DayQuil High Blood Pressure.